going to be a long weekend for us because we did last night with the UK show. And now here we are with Worlds Collide. Then we're going into AEW All Out. AEW All Out is expected to be quite a long time. We're not expecting that to wrap up honestly, with the undercard and all of that. I mean, we could be looking at a good 5 to 6 hours. So it's going to be quite a marathon today. Certainly coming off the back of Clash at the Castle. So yes, sit back, relax, chill out. We'll go through everything. I haven't had a chance to look at much news today. I've been trying to recover basically from yesterday because I didn't get a chance to go to bed as early as I would have liked because of doing the review. And then once the review is done, got to get the podcast done. Then I like to try and get some little clips out there as well. Look at social media. I tell you, one of the things I was going to say, I really can't remember a show split in opinion like this one, a split opinion. I genuinely cannot remember seeing a show that's kind of had people saying, oh my God, it's amazing. It's one of the best things I've seen all year. It's absolutely incredible. And I think the crowd were largely responsible for those reactions. But I am seeing a lot of people that really, really enjoyed the show, which is brilliant. No one's going to say that that's a bad thing or an issue. So great. I was really hoping people would. I wanted everyone to. But it has to be said, there are people out there. I've been contacted by people that have said the show was awful. It felt like a house show. I can't believe that we waited 30 years for that. It's really divided opinion. It's really like a show. I just can't remember. I can't remember another show having that impact, having that effect. So obviously you're going to feel how you feel about it. You could have loved it. You could have hated it. You could be like me in the middle. I think I'm in the middle. I did my review yesterday and I said that I was around a 6.25. I think seeing everyone's positivity towards it and I think I've settled on a 6.5. So I'm on that kind of range. For me personally, I just cannot get over the ending. I cannot get over it. I can't figure out. Do you know what? I'm even starting to think that it wasn't planned. It's so crazy that I'm thinking they didn't plan to end on a song. I really think the plan was for Tyson to get in there, say a few words to Drew, or maybe not even get the microphone. Maybe the plan wasn't that he was going to get the microphone. Maybe the plan was Roman walks away with the belts. He's got the belts. Yeah, he walks off with the belts. And then we go back to the ring, and what you get is a nice embrace between Tyson and Drew. And then Tyson lifts Drew's arm up, and the crowd obviously cheer and everything, pats him on the back, and the show fades to black kind of a thing. And maybe that is the finish. But for some reason, Tyson was like, come on, I can fix this. Give me the microphone. Listen, you've done everyone proud here. You've done everyone. And then he went into this unscripted, unplanned promo. Or maybe they said to him, you can do a promo, do a little talk to the crowd once we've gone off the air. And so, maybe he did the, and then he was like, right, time for the microphone. And they're like, we're still on air. It's so random. It's so random that I really would love to know if that was in the run sheet. I would love to know if the conversation was had that whilst we're on air, we'll do a song. I'd love to know if it was in the run sheet, if Tyson Fury was even meant to do a promo at all. Is that show meant to end with a bit of a Tyson Fury promo? Maybe it was, but there's a big part of me that's thinking that did not go the way it's planned. Because I don't know if you saw an interview today with Drew, but Drew McIntyre was being interviewed, and they said to Drew, by Ariel Helwani, and Drew made a really interesting comment. He said, I've had loads of people coming up to me asking me, why did you sing? And at this point, it's only moments after the show. So who's coming up to him asking him, Why did you sing? He hasn't been like on the streets going around and all this kind of stuff. He's just been backstage. So unless the other superstars didn't know the finish and they've gone up to him going, Drew, what you doing singing? Like, unless that's happened because they didn't know, I'd have, like, was it Gorilla? Did Triple H ask him, Drew, why did you sing? I don't know. I really don't know. It's so bizarre. I mean, it's so bizarre. It's entertaining in a way. It's so bizarre. At least it wasn't just a boring finish. Like, at least you've got something to get your teeth into and, like, really chuck around. But it's also one that's going to really, really divide opinion. Really divide opinion. So, yeah, that was... obviously, I would imagine we will continue to talk about last night. I just need to press play on this so that I've got this working. But, yes, I will jump into the chat in a second. And then we can go wherever the conversation's going. Just to briefly switch it back over here. So tonight we've got a really interesting show because we've actually got, we're saying goodbye to NXT UK. It's a bit heartbreaking, actually. So we've got Tyler Bate taking on Bron Breakker. We've got Mandy Rose taking on Meiko Satomura, taking on Blair Davenport. We've got Gallus against Creed Brothers, against Pretty Deadly, against Briggs and Jensen. We've got Nikki, ASH, and Doudrop. They are going up against Carter and Chance. And then we've got Ricochet against Carmelo Hayes. So pretty stacked card. Worlds Collide is actually a show I'm genuinely really looking forward to. And I will tell you right now, I really don't know how much I'm looking forward to AEW. Because there are definitely matches on there that I think are going to be good, and I am looking forward to them. But I feel like it's going to be a bit of a slog, if I'm being honest. I feel like, certainly coming off the back of a long stream yesterday, I do worry that doing yesterday, Worlds Collide, and AEW is going to be, there'll be no battery left. There'll be no battery left. So, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's not AEW's fault, is it? I mean, AEW have got to book the best show they can, so it's not their fault. And they've got to cater to their fans. It's just, oh my God, what a weekend. What a weekend. I'm not a marathon man like James Chadwick. I'm not a man that can just go like 24 hours watching wrestling. Because, like, man, I just get burnt out. I'm a boomer. I've told you this before. I'm a flipping boomer. I'm a boomer. I can't cope. I'm not as young as I used to be. Yeah, so we'll see how we get on. But this first one, this will be fine. I expect this to be a couple of hours and should be nice. There's only 5 matches here. But all out, that'll be interesting. By the time we're getting to Moxley, CM Punk, I totally expect to be passed out. So I expect to be like, proper gone. And you lot are going to have to be typing. Like, Daze! What's happening? Who do you think wins out of Melo or Ricochet? I think it'll be Melo. I don't think Ricochet's back in NXT. I feel like this is a one-off. I think it's just a nice way to get people to tune in. So I don't think it's an Apollo type thing where they've moved him back. So I'm going to say that it's Carmelo Hayes that wins. 6 hours is ludicrous. That is for football matches, says Tortnight. 4 to 5 hours for a wrestling show is a bit too long, says Sean. Well, I mean, look, this was a conversation we actually had the other day, and it's, again, something else that split opinion. The wrestling world is very split of its opinions, so which it's always been, but this was another one. You know, do you prefer longer shows or shorter shows? And we've got people in the community that go both ways there. There's people in this community that love longer shows, and I will admit, it is a fair point that if you are spending money, which is what people are having to do for All Out, then you're going to want to make sure you get your money's worth. And I think it probably looks good if you've got, do you know what I mean, loads of matches. It's probably harder to sell one of those shows if you only had 5 matches. Because at least this way, there's guaranteed something for someone. There's guaranteed something for someone because there's so many different wrestlers, so many different styles. It's guaranteed that, you'll get something out of it. So I can definitely see both sides of the argument. The bottom line for me is I just know physically how I'm going to feel. Physically, a long show like 4.5, 5 hours, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to really be invested by the end of it. And I've not helped myself, in all fairness, by watching Worlds Collide before. So that one's on me. That one is on me. I didn't have to do both shows, but here we are. Moldy, hello, my friends. Hope you are well. Moldy said, Daze, in H's interview with Ariel, he said Bray's ideas are crazy and they can change quickly, which scraps the last idea. Do you think that's what Vince disliked? Moldy, hope you're well, buddy. Appreciate the support, and that's a great question. We did touch on it during yesterday's stream, but I'm more than happy to just kind of go back over. Yes, to a degree. I think the truth is that Bray is not easy to work with, right? I know that's something that Bray fans are not going to want to hear. I understand that's something that people out there are not going to want to think about or care about. They just want Bray back. But I think that there's a reason. There is a reason as to why they looked at his merch sales. They looked at the numbers he brings in. They look at the ratings for his segments. They look at the fan interaction on social media. And at the end of the day, they still decided to let him go, right? And to release him. And Vince would much rather save the money. So there is a very obvious issue there that's, we can't escape, we can't ignore. We have to acknowledge that there is clearly something that's not right. And my feeling has always been that Bray has pushed back too much. It's kind of, I did it yesterday. You've got Vince sat in Gorilla and he's like, right, I need you to do that. Yes, boss. I need you to do that. Yes, boss. I need you to do that. Yes, boss. Can I just double check this though? Is it all right if I do it this way? Okay, yeah, fine. I need you to do that. Yes, boss. Bray, I need you to do this. No, I can't do that because if I do that, then it's going to knock on to something I want to do later with this. Okay, but what if we do this? No, that won't work because I've got to do this and this. Okay, but what if I make you work with this person instead? No, because if I do this and this, do you see my point? Like all the time this conversation is going on, if I'm Vince, the things I need to deal with, the pile is going. You know what I mean? Like I would imagine Vince just never stops. I would imagine he's got people coming to him from all used to have people come into him from all directions, and he needs a bit more yes boss, to be honest. And I think if you've gotten through NXT and you've gotten through the undercard and you've gotten through the mid card and you've got to a position where you're knocking on that main event scene, really by that point you should have an idea of how to work with Vince. You should have an idea of what Vince is looking for. And I think that Bray was very creative, a creative force, which is brilliant. But I think that needed to be kept away from Vince, to be honest. I think, honestly, the best way to have dealt with Bray would have been to have said to Bray, you need to run your ideas through Shane McMahon, right? And then Shane is the one that gets, no, let's do this. No, let's do that. No, I can't do that because of this. Then I'm going to do this. Now I want to do this. Shane's the one that has to try and control the tornado. And then it's Shane that goes to Vince going, right, Vince, this is what Bray wants to do. He wants to do this. And so then, do you know what I mean? It's actually, boom, here we go. This is what we're going to do from Bray. I've actually worked with people like that. I've worked with people that are they're brilliant and they're great at what they do, but they lack focus. and they're just whoa. And it's really, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. And not only is it a challenge, it's time consuming. It takes a lot of your time to actually like control these people. And time is something that you don't always have. And so out of that can grow frustration. And so, I mean, maybe it's me just projecting my own personal experiences from the past, where, as I said, I've worked with people like this that obviously not, I mean, I'm talking more retail, more so than like a wrestling world. But I can still kind of understand like the challenges of working with someone that's... So, yeah, I think that that was my longer answer. My shorter answer would be yes. I think that has absolutely played a part. I think that not only is it that he's got a million ideas, he wants to scrap ideas, but I think the other thing as well is that if Vince comes up with ideas, I would imagine it's got to fit the narrative that Bray wants it to fit, and that's a problem as well. Because really, this is Vince's world. It was Vince's world. You're there to do really what Vince wants to do, not so much he's there to do what you want to do. So I always got the impression that they were like, not only was it hard to kind of focus Bray and get an idea down and work on that idea, but there was probably a lot of stuff that Vince was throwing in that Bray didn't like. And then Bray would come back with something and it was like bang, 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 but in heads all the time as well, you know? But, I mean, my feeling is that there's ways around this. It's just, I just think that Vince was very stuck in his own way. Vince, rather than finding the solution to that problem and finding a way of someone else dealing with Bray and just giving him the end result, which would seem like a good solution, I just think it was a case of like, you know, I just can't work with him. I just can't work with that. I can't deal with that. Because that example that I give you is fine for a one-off, isn't it? I mean, I don't think anyone's going to say, what's a Bray can't have an opinion. Of course he can. Of course he can. But the problem is that if you're having those battles on a regular basis, if those become like real back and forths on a regular basis, it's going to take up tons of your time. It's going to get real frustrating real quick. And to be perfectly honest, I think it's going to become a relationship that's it sours. I think the relationship would sour because you're just not going to enjoy working with each other. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just going to be like, it's Vince's world. If Vince gets to the point where he doesn't enjoy working with you and it becomes a chore and it's really time consuming and, you know, all of that, then, wow, I mean, you end up where you end up, don't you? So yes would be an answer. I think that probably did play a part, but I do think there's other facets to it as well. It'll be fascinating to find out what Bray has got to say, because Bray could come out and say, no, that was never the case, and could absolutely, you know, dismiss it all. But it's very clear to me that you can't look at his merch sales and say that they were disappointing. You can't look at his YouTube ratings and say they were disappointing. If we look at one of the only metrics we get visibility on, which would be like him trending on Twitter, is trending all the time. So that's not disappointing. So there must have been something that resulted in Vince looking at all of that and saying, I'm better off. I would much rather not have him here. And for Vince, that honestly is quite the statement, because Vince is best for business, isn't he? I mean, he'll work with the Saudis. He'll work with the Saudis and take the Saudi money because that's best for WWE. So for him to turn around and say, it's better that I don't work with this guy, that is a statement. It is. This is why I always felt that unless Bray went away and changed himself, actually raised his stock, I always thought he would struggle to get back with Vince, because I think at the moment Bray hasn't done anything since he left. He's done nothing. He's done a film which hasn't come out, so he's done nothing, right? Until it comes out and we know, you know, how big it is. He hasn't done anything. So his stock has not risen. He's the same guy that Vince let go, basically. So that's why I was always like, listen, he needs that film to come out. It needs to do real well. It needs to, like, you know, all of a sudden then Vince will be like, okay, he's got something going on here. And all of a sudden, you know, that challenge of working with him becomes a little more tolerable. It's a bit more tolerable because all of a sudden, like, okay, I can make some money here. I can, you know, the merch sales were good before. Imagine what they'll be now. The ratings were good before. Imagine what they'll be now that he's in this massive movie. So I always felt he needed to raise his stock a little. Or just wait it out until Vince retires, which no one saw coming, but here we are. So, it's going to be very interesting. I do expect him to return. Triple H also said in that interview that he enjoys the challenge of working with people like that. There was nothing that came out of that Triple H interview that made me think, oh, Bray's not going to come back. He said he was a crazy creative force. He said that he enjoys working with people like that. He loved working with him in NXT. So he said that as well. And the other point that I made, and we will finish here because I didn't want to spend this long on it, but the other point I made was that Triple H in that interview said that he could guess the two names that Ariel Helwani wanted to talk about, because Ariel Helwani was like, I want to talk about 4 names. And Triple H said, I reckon I can guess the last 2. And Ariel Helwani didn't make him guess, which is really frustrating, because it would have been interesting to have seen, you know, if they were the names he was thinking of. But as soon as Ariel Helwani went, okay, first one up is Bray. As soon as he was like that, Triple H was like, yeah, okay, so... And then he went into it. And the way he reacted, it's like, yeah, I knew that was coming. I was waiting. I think he even said, I was waiting for you to get there. This all suggests that these are conversations that are being had with Triple H on a regular basis. Because why does Triple H go, yeah, okay, I was waiting for you to get there. So Bray, like, this says to me, he is fully aware of how big of a star Bray is and how big it would be to bring Bray back, because that reaction I thought was very telling. And then you add in the fact that, you know, the way he words things, he doesn't have to word it as nice. He could have said, look, really enjoyed working with him and we'll have to see if our paths cross in the future. I mean, he could have said that, but instead he's like, loved working with him. He's one of the most crazy creative people I've ever worked with. But you are absolutely right. He also didn't need to be adding all of that stuff of, you know, he's all over the place and, you know, it can be a challenge. And, you know, he added all of that as well. So it was quite a long, in-depth answer that he gave to that question. But nothing out of it made me think, oh, Bray's dead. Bray's not going to come back. When he ended it, I was like, I think things are looking pretty good, actually. So, Mouldy, hope that answers it, bud. Really appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed yesterday as well. I think Bray was stubborn, brackets in a good way, with his ideas, and he was so set on his way. But I like the way Triple H said, Bray, yeah, he can be an a-hole, but he's my a-hole. Yes. I made 2 changes. Forster out, Ward in. Simicus out, Ben White in. Very good. Yep. I just think that you're going to get to the point where people like Bernardo Silva will be used in the Champions League. So you will seemingly get, like, you won't play in the Premier League. And, you know, it could be that Haaland comes on for 10 minutes at the end of a game because they want him for the Champions League midweek. So even though, like, you might have an amazing starting 11, I genuinely don't know how many times that starting 11 is going to score for you. Because I reckon most weeks you'll need at least 1, 2, maybe even all 3 of your subs. So if you are playing the Fantasy Premier League game, that would be a big tip for everyone. Make sure that that every single player you've got is playing. And if they're not playing, like Bernardo Silva week in, week out, who I think is going to be in a rotation now, that's all right. Just make sure that your bench is playing, everyone's playing, basically. because Bernardo Silva might not play, but then you'll have a sub come on instead. So, does World Collide start in 3 minutes or 33 minutes? I think the kickoff show is in 3 minutes, and then I think the show starts in 33 minutes. I think CM Punk will lose tonight, says Daniel, and then Chicago's own Kanye West comes out and will sing everybody goodbye. Do you know what? I do have to say this, right? If AEW ended a show with the hometown hero like CM Punk losing, and then someone comes out and starts singing It's a Long Way to Tipperary, yeah, or something like this, and the show ends that way, there would be so much hate online. There would. There just would. People would be laughing at it. They'd be like, what the flip? What's Tony Khan doing? You are right. If CM Punk was to lose in Chicago, and then you bring out, I don't know, flipping Barbara Streisand, and they start doing, one of her songs, which can't even think of any of her songs. Islands in the Stream. Yeah. They start doing Islands in the Stream, which I don't even think was Barbara Streisand. Now I'm saying it, I'm starting to think it was actually Dolly Parton. So, but either way, they cover a Dolly Parton song. They do Islands in the Stream. That is what we are. No more in between. No, we belong. Sail away with me to another place. I need to see Twitter at that point. Yeah, I need to see a live feed of Twitter to know exactly what is being said. In fact, I wish I had a live feed of Twitter for that moment when they started singing. I did have the chat, but I was crying at the time, so I couldn't actually see the chat. So, yeah, it was crazy. Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. That's how I feel about it. It was crazy. It was crazy. If people go watch think about it, I'll go, it was flipping crazy. It's one of the craziest endings to a pay-per-view ever. It was crazy. Worlds Collide or All Out, both are on. This is Worlds Collide, but All Out is on afterwards. Babs did her duets with different guys with beards, not Kenny Rogers, says John. Oh, Babs. Love you. Who is your favourite wrestler? My favourite wrestler? I'm loving Gunther. Great to see Sheamus getting his moment. I mean, he is someone that I have definitely taken for granted. He is definitely someone that I don't give him enough respect. Let's put it that way. I think that he's done a lot of heavy lifting, Sheamus. He's someone that, has done lots of matches. He's been in lots of feuds. They've rarely been the most exciting, but he's always taken up some of the shows. He's always carried some of the weight. He's always helped new stars kind of get onto the main roster. He's always been a good opponent for people. He can always plug gaps, put him in a tag team with Cesaro. You got the Bar, like one of the best tag teams in recent years. He can then do amazing matches with Gunther and Drew McIntyre. Right now, he's bringing in Butch and Ridge onto the main roster. Like, he's done, he's had a King gimmick. He's done loads. And he's one of those that's kind of a very much unsung hero because he's always a heel. He's never really in, like, the most exciting of feuds, as we said. Sometimes he is, but most of the time not. But, it's so deserved. So deserved. It's one of those moments you don't think of. Like, I genuinely, when I was doing my predictions, at no point did I say I really hope that Sheamus gets an opportunity to stand in the ring and just, get some applause from the fans. At no point did it cross my head that should happen. But it happened, and it was one of my favourite parts of the show because he deserves it. He so deserves it. So deserves it. And so I really, it looked like, I don't know if he was getting emotional or not, but I genuinely think that once he looks back on his career, that will be an absolute highlight. It'll be top 5, top 10 moments of his whole career. Everything he's achieved, being in Cardiff, just over the water from Ireland, having all of that support. I think he'll be absolutely loving that. He'll be reflecting on that for the rest of his life. What's this Heaven Fitch story? I've seen this, haven't I? Is this a kickoff show? Okay, we're hearing from Steph. We're breaking down barriers. In the top, it says Heaven Fitch. I've seen this. I've seen this story of Heaven Fitch. I don't know what I'm watching. It says 8:30 Worlds Collide kickoff show. Am I watching the wrong thing? Maybe I'm watching the wrong thing. Hang on. Give me a second. No, I'm not. Has someone botched this? Has someone botched it? Peacock's broken. What is going on? It says coverage will begin shortly. Oh, I don't have that yet. They're still saying Heaven Fitch. Can I just tell you, on the WWE Network, which I know you lot don't have, you've got Peacock, but it's still the same thing. It says live Worlds Collide kickoff. But what I'm actually watching is the Heaven Fitch story, which is a documentary about a girl who competed against guys at amateur wrestling and won. And it's a great documentary, and I wish they would do more of those types of documentaries. If you've not seen it, it's great. It's really good, really insightful, and yeah, I love it. So you see her at like high school beating the guys, showing, it's women empowerment, all this kind of stuff. Lovely, yeah. But this isn't Worlds Collide kickoff, is it? So what's going on? Peacock's gone down. Do you think because Peacock's down, this is like an emergency, just play something? Maybe that's why we've got this. Canada's still got the network. Go on YouTube. I've got the network. Okay, do you know what I'm thinking now? What I'm thinking now is that Peacock has gone down. The feed has gone down. And so what we're watching here is they've just gone, right, play this whilst we try and figure out what's happening. And so they've just put on the Heaven Fitch story. Wilds. Thank God this isn't like WrestleMania. Worlds Collide kickoff then. Bring back the WWE Network. People complaining. I mean, you don't want it 'cause we're not seeing anything anyway. Okay. In all fairness, there's nothing on. You can go on YouTube and watch it. So on YouTube is the NXT Worlds Collide kickoff, but it's only video packages. There's nothing to really focus on. The problem's going to be if they don't get this sorted in half an hour, though, because the show is meant to start in 25 minutes. So that is going to be a problem. I don't think they're treating it as a pay-per-view. It's a normal episode of NXT. Is there a kickoff? Yeah. It says it meant to be a kickoff, yes. Oh, actually, and there is a kickoff because it's on YouTube. So this thing that's on YouTube is meant to be on thingy. But to be honest, the kickoff might just be lots of video packages of how we got to the matches. It might not be. It might not actually be a panel. We're just waiting to see. No, another video. It's just video packages at the moment. 8TD said, this hasn't happened in a while. No, it hasn't. Very strange. Minty, hello. Says, I'm hyped for UFC 279. I'll be back Wednesday. Minty, shout out to you. Lisa said, Peacock has coverage will begin soon. There's a delay on Peacock. So a lot of people asking about what's happening to Peacock. I don't have visibility on that. I've just got this Fitch documentary playing, as I said. So we've still got the network over here, which will unfortunately change to Peacock. We do have Peacock now over here. We didn't have it before, but we do have it now. So I do fear that we're going to Peacock as well soon. Jordan said, how are things? Good, bud. Mentally getting ready for the night ahead. Retribution said, I usually watch on the network, but since I have Peacock for the 3 p.m. Premier League games using a VPN, I didn't bother paying for the network. Going to use that $9.99 towards All Out. Imagine the Fiend's face pops up. Have they tried switching it on and off again, said Exposing. It's a good point. You should send them an email. Email Stephanie McMahon at WWE.com and just let her know, Steph, you need to turn Peacock on and off again, please. Thank you. Thanks, WWE Universe. Edward said, how are you doing? Good. Now that Roman has beaten everyone, who is next? And who is his opponent at Survivor Series? Don't know who his opponent's at Survivor Series. I mean, the talk is that there's not going to be a draft until next year. What I would say is if they're really struggling for an opponent, they can always just bring someone over from Raw, because they did that for the Rumble. Seth Rollins was a Raw superstar, and they brought him over for the Royal Rumble and did Seth against Roman. So, they can always bend the rules if they need to. But Carrion's got to be in the conversation. So I think Carrion's got to be in the run-in. We still don't know how they're going to separate the belts. I mean, we've spent, I don't know, countless hours talking about how are they going to separate the belts. How could they separate the belts? I can't be the only one that thinks that last night would have been so much better. It would have been so much better if Roman had said, if you want both belts, you've got to beat me twice. And you could have had Solo Sikoa saving the Universal belt, and so Roman keeps that. And then Solo's about to help Roman keep a hold of the WWE. You have Tyson Fury jump over, knock out Solo Sikoa, and then that allows Drew to Claymore and win. That way, Roman walks away with the Universal, and Drew can celebrate having won the WWE Championship. That would have been a so much better ending than American Pie. So, yeah, it's I definitely would have preferred that. But we've spent so long talking about how the belt's going to be separated, and then they never separated them. The belts just didn't get separated. So it's pretty crazy. So, yeah, by the time we get to Survivor Series, will the belts be separated? I would have to think so. So it might be that he faces whoever the champion is on Raw, and he doesn't even have to defend at Survivor Series. Who do you want to come back? I don't think there's anyone I want now, really. I mean, I don't mind Bray coming back. I think lots of rumours about Sasha coming back, Braun coming back in. To be honest, I just want to get focused on telling some stories. Do you know what I mean? I just want to use the talent we've got. I want to see Theory and Gargano, and I want to get stuck into like what are we doing with Carrion? What's next for Gunther? What's going to be next for Liv, for example? And just kind of what's next for Shayna. I mean, Shayna losing clean to Liv is not a great look for Shayna. Shayna, if anything, should be, a killer in the ring. She's a former UFC fighter. She's got mad skills. She's a submission specialist. She's a catch-can specialist. And then, she gets beat by Liv Morgan. So, God, where does that leave Shayna Baszler? How does Shayna kind of pick herself up and reinvent herself? Because, Triple H will sort that out. He's not just going to, that's it, thanks Shayna, bye. Have a jobbing out now. There'll be a plan. I mean, like, it could be that Ronda tries to say to Shayna, like, I told you not to take her for granted. And Shayna gets upset, and then, like, no, that causes a feud between them. Yeah, I feel like a feud between them feels like the direction we're going in, but, I mean, there's no guarantee that that's the case. Still video packages at the moment, by the way. And still that Heaven Fitch documentary on WWE Network. Shane said, rumour last night was Drew's back is worse than he thought. He will be missing in action for a while. Oh, that's an interesting development. It's an interesting development. I still think, depending on how long he's going to be gone for, I still think I would have put the WWE belt on him. Because to be perfectly truthful, even if his back is injured and he is going to be out for a while, I would have had him be the one to take the WWE. He be the one in Clash at the Castle to at least end on a high note. And then the very next time we see him on SmackDown, he forfeits the belt. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. I know people would be like, oh, what, you want to take one of the belts off Roman just so the person can then forfeit? Well, yes, actually, because first of all, it's a much better ending to Clash at the Castle. And second of all, it builds Drew up. So when he does come back from this, back problem he's got, he'll be, the guy that beat Roman. So it helps Drew anyway, even if he goes away. And actually, him going away means that we can, sort out his character going forwards and just have a breather. Like, he's achieved this massive thing. Then he can go away for a few months. And then when he comes back, it can be like, right, this is the plan now. It gives us time to plan the next stage for Drew McIntyre. So that's a positive. And not only that, but if he forfeits it, he's never lost it himself, has he? So when he comes back, he can rightfully say, I should still be the champ. I want an opportunity, blah, 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 blah. It separates the belts as well. That's the other thing. So we're trying to get the belts separated. This does it. And it gives you a better ending for Clash. It builds Drew up. Drew's someone that has beaten Roman. But as well, Roman gets to keep the Universal and keep heading towards that 1,000 days. So I still would have done it. That would not have been a barrier for me. And the only thing would be if he was going to be out for 6, 7, 8 months, that would be a bit long. If it was going to be he's out for back surgery, he's going to be out for the 12 months, then I'd be like, okay, that's a problem. So if it's that, I would agree it's a problem. If it's a couple of months, nah, it's fine. Honestly, if it's a couple of months, AEW would keep the belt on him and they'd do an interim. I'm not saying that we do that. I'm just saying that that's what they would do. We have gone over to the arena, by the way, and we are seeing Sam Roberts and that woman, whatever her name is. So we've got a woman and we got Sam Roberts, and the documentary has finished. So the documentary has ended. It seems like Peacock is back. Order is restored in the world, and we can enjoy the build now towards Worlds Collide. So not that long to go, about 16 minutes. Jadam said, the stream is finally up. I'm pretty sure, Daniel said, I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be no to this because of how busy the weekend is. But has you had time to see Garnt to Vassar? It's one of the best fights of the year. I haven't, no, I haven't. I saw the result, but I haven't seen the fight. Tommy said, Peacock is kind of still messing up, says Tommy. Exposing said, Theory's contract is for one match. They need to make that clear for one title and then put the WWE title on him. Miss Clown said, order isn't restored. Where's my protein shake? Oh, goddamn. Here is Katana, Chance, and Kayden Carter arriving. We're getting breaking news. Chance and Carter have arrived. So there we go. They will be taking on Nikki, ASH, and Doudrop later tonight. Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. Zero said, what's up? Clash at the Castle was the best pay-per-view of WWE in 2022, says Zero. It's true, innit? I honestly cannot remember a pay-per-view divided opinion like Clash at the Castle. It's mental. It's mental. I've had literally every single opinion on the spectrum, and it's not normally that way. Normally, Like, you have people that say it was good, it was very good, it was great. With Clash at the Castle, I've had people saying it was a disaster. I've had people saying that it was bad. I've had people saying it was average. I've had people saying it was good, great. Zero now saying it's the best pay-per-view of the year. Like, it's absolutely all on the scale. All along the scale. It's crazy. Crazy. Here's Mandy. Mandy Rose is with Gigi and JC Jane. Tonight she is going to unify the women's titles. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk. She's got like an American vibe in the sense of stars and stripes on her ring gear, which are like hot pants and a little bikini top. But then she had like red and blue and red, white and blue on her eyes. It looked really good, actually. So if she's going to wrestle like that, it's like very American inspired and it looked really cool. So I'm hoping Meiko wins that one. Love Meiko Satomura. So I'm hoping that she can emerge victorious there, but I really, really don't know which way it's going to go. I don't know, actually, where a lot of these are going because what's happening to the NXT UK stars once they lose their belts? I mean, is it a case that some of these know that this is their final matches and that they've only been kept on because they're champions and we need to do this show? You know, could it be a case that when Meiko loses the belt and Meiko gets released? I mean, I really hope not. I really hope not. But I genuinely don't know. Or are they now just part of NXT? Are all of these stars now part of NXT? Or are some of them potentially going to the main roster? Could we see Meiko go into the main roster? I doubt it. But I don't know. So it makes for a very, very interesting show. Very interesting. To me, it's a 9 out of 10 pay-per-view. The only thing stopping me saying 10 is the main event, says Black Star. Why are people mad? No Bray. It wasn't the right show, said Jaden. The fact they are actually there, Meiko is staying, says Black Star. They're going to strip Roman of the Raw title. There was too much interference, said Zoom Station. Roman is there tonight, and Bray is joining AEW. Meltzer has said that NXT UK stars will join NXT 2.0 afterwards. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that. That's interesting. What else have we got? Braun Strowman has re-signed. Yeah, those are rumors. Yes. Alexi said, Daze, are you ready for today's show? Born ready, yes. We've got something happening on the kickoff here. I don't know if we're just seeing the staging. I thought someone was about to walk out, but we were just looking at the staging. Andrew, shout out to you. Andrew says, could you ask citizens where the Peacock feed is? It's back, baby, I've heard. I've heard it's back. Peacock has returned in a blaze of glory. I think, in all fairness, I think we were having the same issue, so I think they must be connected. The issues you were having on Peacock, it can't be a coincidence that I was having a documentary being shown that had nothing to do with Worlds Collide. So, yeah, they must be connected in a way. Daniel said, it was one of the best fights this year last night. The French crowd was the best crowd I've heard at a UFC event. There is a 6-minute highlight video if you do get time. Evan says, you look about 66. I'm 21. Nolo Vent says, have Reigns relinquish the WWE Championship so that Raw can have a tournament. Jaden said it wasn't the right show for Bray. Jordan said there are rumours Husky Harris is coming back. Knight Rider said, I don't think WWE will have Sammy and KO beat the Usos for the tag belts now, especially with Roman retaining and Solo joining the Bloodline. Michael said, I heard a rumour that Tennille Dashwood has resigned with WWE. The rumour is that Bray is joining a new Fed with Freddie Prinze Jr. running it. That's crazy, isn't it? That's not the rumour. But it's crazy how Chinese whispers have made it the rumour. That news has come from Fightful Select. And their report is there is a serious offer that has been made to Bray, but there is no news that Bray has accepted that offer. And we don't know what other offers are on the table for Bray as well. So, yeah, certainly Fightful Select reporting that he's been offered a chance to join this new startup, but nothing about that he's signed and he's going there and it's, a done deal. There are a lot. I do agree with Andrew. It says, please stop with the dumb rumours. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid stuff out there, man. There's a lot of stupid stuff. I've said before, and I'll say it again, find news sources that you trust. Don't find stories. Find news sources that you trust and then read their stories. I think a lot of people do it the wrong way round. There's a lot of people that see a story that looks good and it doesn't matter where it comes from. The story looks good. And so, yeah, I'm going to believe that now. When it's people making stuff up. They're just making stuff up because we live in a world now that it's all views and it's clicks and it's likes and anything to get you to follow them or, click on their profile or whatever it might be. There's stuff that just gets made up. Simple as that. So look at news sources that you trust and read their stories rather than just reading all the stories and believing, any random thing. So for me, I look at WrestleVotes, I look at Sean Ross Sapp, I look at Dave Meltzer. Those are the big three. I have ventured outside of those on rare occasions. And sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't worked. But to be honest, I would never really fully back anything. It would always still be a rumor, and I will always tell you where that rumor has come from. So for me, if it's not Sean Ross Sapp, Meltzer, or WrestleVotes, I don't really put much stock into it. So those are my three. But you might have some that you really like. You might have some that you trust on TikTok, because I don't go on TikTok, on Instagram and things like that you think are really, really good and they're always on the money. But to be perfectly truthful, a lot of the accurate stories are just different people reporting Meltzer, Sean Ross Sapp, or WrestleVote. Like, it does tend to come back to, certain people. So, yeah, there's a lot of rubbish out there, man. A lot of rubbish. And hopefully, a lot of people now will have had their eyes opened because, there was a lot of Bray is coming back. Bray might come back. There was a lot of Bray is coming back. He will be at Clash at the Castle. I saw tweets saying that. I saw people saying that he's coming. He will be there. And so just look at those accounts that said those things and just remember it. That's all. Just remember it. And then, you'll start to realize who you can trust. Because it has to be frustrating. It has to be constantly getting wound up and worked up about not just Bray, but anything. Not just Bray, but anything like TV14 or whatever it might be. Constantly these teasers and then it doesn't get paid off. I think that it's something that people need to take a look at. Thank you for the correction, dude. So Bray is playing the waiting game. We're waiting to see. We're waiting to find out. I mean, there is a serious offer that's been made to him. And actually, if we're going to be perfectly truthful, that Fightful Select report said that they don't even know who it's from. But it was heavily implied that it was Freddie Prinze Jr.'s company, but they couldn't confirm it. So the actual story is that Bray's been offered something serious, heavily implied it's Freddie Prinze Jr.'s company, but they can't confirm it, but they believe it to be that. But certainly nothing that he's accepted it or anything along those lines. So, but I mean, that's a great example. That's Chinese whispers. That story quickly becomes that it is Freddie Prinze Jr. and that Bray has signed. And as we said, people will, because it's just a little leap in it. It's just a little step to go from the truth, the report, to, he's signed with Freddie Prinze. It's a little, and there's a lot of people actually, just to finish up on this, that will throw stuff out there like that. And they'll throw a lot of that stuff out there. And some of it will land and some of it won't land. And what they'll do is they'll be like, see, told you he'd signed with Freddie Prinze Jr. I told you this, I told you that. It completely ignoring the 50 other things they got wrong and just focusing on the 2 or 3 things they got right. Because it's one of them, innit? Like, if you throw enough stuff at the wall, some will stick. And so that's another method that people use. So again, just be aware of it. How can all other pro wrestling companies compete with WWE, AEW? What do they need to do? Well, it's money in it. I mean, if you haven't got money, you're going to struggle. If you haven't got money, you've got to find a way of standing out. And unfortunately, that results in people doing really stupid stuff, because standing out is taking bigger and bigger risks, isn't it? I mean, if you just put on really entertaining, solid wrestling shows, credible wrestling shows, you'll build up a really good fan base, a committed, loyal fan base, but it might not grab people's attention and it might not play well on social media. I mean, to be honest, you could probably get some clips out of Gunther and Sheamus and you could probably put them on social media, but I think the flips of the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros are going to play a lot better. In a world where it's all about views, clicks, short videos, TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever you want, YouTube Shorts, whatever, yeah, the crazy moves of the Young Bucks are just gold, because you just take the little move, yeah, put it into those little, clips, put it on social media, get shared around, spoken about, wow, kind of a thing. Whereas, Gunther, Sheamus, you might be able to get some, vicious chops or something, but it ain't going to do as well. It ain't going to look as good. But the bottom line is, for me personally, I'd much rather watch a Sheamus Gunther than a Young Bucks match, because I thought Sheamus against Gunther was absolutely brilliant last night. This is why when people say last night was a disaster, I can't personally agree with them, because like Sheamus Gunther was on that show, and that is not a disaster. The main event, okay, what happens after is weird, but the actual main event match is not a disaster. I can understand people being upset that Drew didn't win, but, that happens. It happens, right? There was no guarantee Drew was going to win. So I haven't got an issue with that. So, and Seth Riddle, I thought was really good as well. And the Dominic turn. So, you can go down a list that makes you go, there's no way this show is a disaster. But equally, I can list some stuff where I can say there's no way that's, for me, the best pay-per-view of the year. Not even close. I think it's well short of SummerSlam, for example. Well short. So, I can, which is why I settle in the middle on my Clash at the Castle review. I settle very much middle of the road. Do you think Dominic joining Judgment Day or Legado? I would think Judgment Day, just because Legado, I don't think need an extra person, and equally, they're not in a feud with them. So, yeah, I think it'll be Judgment Day. Sheamus shouldn't have lost, says Joe. Can you read my tweet from last night? No, no, because I've got like a million tweets that have come in, because so many people that were at the show have got in touch with me, which is brilliant. And people just kind of checking in to see like, oh, what did you think of it? There's a lot of our community actually that were there that haven't had chance to like, watch the watch along or anything. And so I've had quite a few people actually reaching out going, what did you think? It played really well. It was great live. People talking about Edge and that moment where they were singing Edge's song, and it's crazy. But if you've got something you want like reading out, just type it in. I'll read it, or at least try to. Dave said the rundown of Raw has the title situation being addressed, says AEW fan. Makarai said, who do you see being the Joker in AEW? Maybe MJF. But in all fairness, they've used that Joker for, I don't want to say low level, but, you know, we've seen Matt Sydal. I think we had Leo Rush. Like, there's people that aren't the biggest of names that can be coming in as a Joker. So I don't know that the Joker is one that really gets my heart racing anymore. I don't know that it's one that I really get that crazy and excited about. But we'll see. We'll see. Right, to continue watching, subscribe at WWE Network. What the flip is going on? I am subscribed. Has anyone else got problems with the network? Is going on? Let's have a look. Watch now. I'm signed in. Watch. I just had the kickoff show. Just kicked me out, you know. It just kicked me out. So I'm re-signed in and we're good to go. Champion versus champion. Right, we are live with NXT Worlds Collide. Do you think Punk wins tonight? I think there's probably a chance. I mean, we're in Chicago. I don't see how he does. Just because they had a match only the other week and Punk lost in a few minutes. His foot gave out, so it's going to be interesting to see how they tell that story now. So I think there's definitely a chance, but I'm a bit torn on it. I think both guys have got a chance. But I think, you know, Punk in Chicago makes me think they probably are going to put the belt back on him there. How does Braun return? Well, I thought it might be part of Judgment Day, but with the Dominic thing, I think there's a chance Dominic could be joining Judgment Day. So, I mean, Braun, I really don't know. I would have said before yesterday he would be part of Judgment Day. Now, I'm not feeling that so much. So, I can't see an opening for him at the moment. So, could it be that he answers a Bobby Lashley challenge? Bobby Lashley issues an open challenge and Braun comes down or something? Right, here we are at NXT Worlds Collide. Good, passionate crowd. Welcome to Worlds Collide. Punk's not winning, says Robin. I hope we see Santos Escobar on Monday. Okay, one and only. We are starting with Ricochet. One and only. Ricochet taking on Carmelo. Hayes is at first match. It's running fine. Hypothetically, what if Bray debuts? How would WWE fans react? Well, I think it'd be very people having a problem with him returning. I think there's those that are really passionate about the idea, and then there's those that are, I don't think, against the idea. I really don't see that many people against it. So I think it would be popular, but I think there's probably those that are really into it, and then there's those that are like, eh. I think it's a mixture of that. I don't think there's really many people. There probably are, because, you know, it's the world, isn't it? And there's lots of different opinions. So there probably are people that are absolutely against it. But no, certainly if he was to walk out, the crowd, there'd be a massive pop, big reaction. Ricochet in the ring. Meltzer said Gunther Sheamus was one of the greatest matches in WWE history. Who weren't on the pre-show? There was no pre-show. Giannis says, do you see me? I see you. I think Mandy Rose will win because of Toxic Attraction, said Zycamy. Jim said, what if Braun signing with WWE is a start of a control your narrative invasion? is this? What is this? Ricochet. So Carmelo Hayes had, I think, shirts of previous victims. Is that what it is? Like, he had, like, shirts of people that he's beaten. And on the main screen, Ricochet shirt appeared. So they're just saying, like, mind games being played. Carmelo making his way down. So, yeah, this will be a great match. What are all the shirts with the names on? I think they're just like previous victims. I think that's what it was. Jerseys. Will Solo be an Uso? I don't think he'll be an Uso. No, I think he'll be on his own. I don't think the Usos are now like the Fabulous Freebirds. I expect him to be on his own. I don't know how they're gonna book him actually. Championship. Here we go. Ricochet, Carmelo Hayes. The Rickareel said, I'm surprised WWE didn't put this show head to head with All Out. If Bray debuts, Dave will give 7 stars. I don't think he will actually. I think his readers have voted Bray like worst gimmick. So I don't think it really actually vibes with Dave Meltzer. I don't watch NXT. Why are they unifying? Is it for NXT Europe? Yeah. They're getting rid of NXT UK. And so we're going to get NXT and NXT UK merged. And then in 2023, we get a brand new NXT Europe. So we're merging the titles so that we can introduce more titles in the future. That's what we're doing. Ricochet locking up with Carmelo Hayes then. And gets driven back against the ropes. Again, Ricochet in the center of the ring. Who will win the main event? I'm thinking Bron. I think they're higher on Bron than they are Tyler. So I'm thinking Bron. These two constantly reversing around. Nice headlock takeover. Kip up by Ricochet. Headlock takeover again by Carmelo. Flip up. Sweeps the legs away. Kip up. Goes for a kick. It's blocked. These two going at each other. NXT chant. Lots of quick moves, quick reversals. I really like the fact that Carmelo has got the North American like globe on his ring gear. Like his ring gear is the colour of the belt, and he's got the globe on the side. It looks cool. Takedown, down goes Carmelo. I like Ricochet's ring gear as well. It looks really clean. Looks clean and classy. Against the ropes, over the top. Nice roll through. Grabs the head. Take over. Carmelo flips over. Drop kick. Carmelo goes down. Paul Compton said, I want MVP to manage Hayes and Trick on Raw. Not sure when they're going to go up, to be honest, Birds. I don't know quite when the call-up's going to come, but MVP managing them. Do they need a manager? I don't know. I always think that like a manager is really useful for people that struggle to talk, but I feel like Carmelo can talk. Same with Trick as well. So, don't know. Don't know that they need a manager. Kick coming in by Ricochet. You could do it. You could do it and see how it works. just think they might be a bit too dynamic for like MVP. MVP is like, business suits, takes his time. He's a little bit older. Kind of think like, well, when I say older, I mean, I suppose he's not that old, but I feel like he's older than, say, one of the young, pretty girls they could have put with him. Like Zelina. Do you remember when Zelina was managing Andrade? Like, I think that would work better, actually. I think if you was going to put a manager with Carmelo, I think I'd go with a pretty girl. I think I'd go with a pretty girl that maybe is a really good talker, but is just not doing it in the ring. But she can really talk. Maybe that's a little bit like, what's her name? Out of Maximum Male Models. Perhaps she's a great talker, but just not that great in the ring. So that's why they've put her in Maximum Male Models. Maxine Dupree, that's the name. I could see like a Maxine Dupree. But I still don't know how great of a talker she is, actually, so I need to see her, like, cutting some really good promos. But to be honest, I think Carmelo can do talking himself. Lovely chop on the outside. There was a guy that was loving it. There's a guy in the front row that was like, ah! Down goes Ricochet. Crowd are red hot for this one. Roll over, one. Just a one count. Ricochet manages to get up. Carmelo gets back up to his feet. Ricochet slumps in the corner. Carmelo goes over. Looks for a big chop by Carmelo. Slap to the back of the head. Very disrespectful. Did we ever find out what Andrade was talking about? No, he just said out. That was it. So a lot of people took that as him being out of AEW, but I haven't seen anything confirmed on that. Freddie Prinze will most likely center the promotion around Bray to get it rolling if he signs him. He hasn't signed him. He's given him a serious offer, but he hasn't signed him. Or at least there's no reports he's signed him. Over in the corner goes Ricochet. Nice. Goes for a high kick. Carmelo pulls Ricochet down. Super kick there by Carmelo. Ricochet goes down. Carmelo taking a little bit too long. He needed to get that pin on a lot quicker, but shoulder up. Shoulder up. Carmelo versus Theory is possibly a future WrestleMania or SummerSlam main event, says the Ricka Reel. NXT doesn't feel the same, says Zex. Big Time said, seeing Mandy as champion is understandable under Vince, but she doesn't scream talent that Triple H would push, like his black and gold women. Is it a case when there's no ready option in NXT? Tell you what, Carmelo just springboarding off. I think with Mandy Rose, she serves a purpose, and that purpose is she's the attractive girl that can wrestle. She's not an amazing wrestler. She's an okay wrestler. I mean, to be honest, I've seen some pretty awful matches with Mandy Rose. So I'm not that high on her, but equally, she is not Eva Marie. When the bell rings, she isn't like just lost. Like, she can put a match together. And I think as well, they probably are seeing that she's a very good heel, because she's that, I don't care, like, it girl type thing. I'm better than you. And I think that she's probably playing that heel role quite well. So I don't know that it's a case that they haven't got any other options. I think it's a case that they're probably thinking about, right, what is our next move? Who is the person to take it off of her? But they're probably also quite satisfied with the work that she's doing. Because if you want a heel that's kind of arrogant, I'm better than you, look at you compared to me, kind of a heel, she plays that role very, very well. And, she can put some okay matches on. It's not a disaster. It's not, it could be worse. It's not Eva Marie. It's not someone that hasn't got a flipping clue what they're doing, and they are literally only there for their looks. Wow, that's an amazing spot. That's an amazing spot. That's an amazing spot. Carmelo and Ricochet springboard crossbody into each other. Both are down. They collided. Quite. Wow. That's an amazing spot. That is a lovely looking spot. So 2 springboard crossbodies. These two really, really going at each other. This is awesome, says Hayden. Yeah, it's been a million miles an hour, this match. Fight forever chant from the NXT crowds. So now they're going to go and throw hands. Nice head movement there by Ricochet. European uppercut. Kick coming in by Ricochet. Carmelo is constantly being kicked, bouncing off the ropes. Round the back goes Ricochet. Carmelo trying to hold on to the ropes, but he can't. Enziguri. Carmelo goes down. Carmelo started that jump before he was like hit, unfortunately. Upon the shoulders of Ricochet. Nice kick, but gets caught by Carmelo. Ricochet going for the clothesline. Carmelo. No. Super kick by Ricochet. Oh my God. Thrusted right into his throat. Springboards. Nothing. Ricochet moves out the way. Recoil connects by Ricochet and Hayes goes down. He's trying to get to the ropes. Trick Williams gets involved and he pulls Carmelo over. Trick Williams pulls Carmelo over. I don't know if he was trying to get his foot onto the rope. Ricochet is looking at Trick, goes through, drop kick. Trick Williams goes down. What happens to Dexter Loomis is Miz on Miz's back seat. Miz doesn't want to talk about it, says Knight Rider. We'll find that out tomorrow, won't we, with Raw. Stav said, I've been a fan since the start. I was wondering, what do you think about Solo Sikoa saving Roman? I don't mind it. My biggest criticism, my only real criticism, 1, 2... Oh, shoulder up by Ricochet. My only real criticism is that if you're going to have Roman win, you need something for the crowd. You need something for people so that the show isn't just like really flat at the end. Like Roman wins. The crowd were red hot. Everyone wanted like Drew. This was such a special show for us in the UK because constantly being called back to SummerSlam 92. The show last night is, if you want to compare it to Summer, it was being compared to SummerSlam 92 and the impact of SummerSlam 92. And so if you're not going to have the British guy win, you better have something up your sleeve that's going to send the crowd home happy and, do you know what I mean, is going to kind of end the show on a high note. And a song, it ain't doing it. Big superplex by Ricochet. So I don't mind Solo helping Roman. Don't mind it at all. But I just wish they had something for after. I just wish there was something that happened that was, even if it was like just a talking point, even if Tyson Fury had knocked Drew out and we were clearly now building to Tyson Fury and Drew, or, you know, Bray came back or something flipping happened. And instead we got a song, so. Right, we've got both guys down. I enjoyed the show, but the singing did throw me off. Holy ship chance, says Izzy Girl. James, shout out to you. Right, we've got Ricochet throwing in a kick to Carmelo. Carmelo down on his knees. Slapped by Carmelo. Carmelo getting back up to his feet. Forearm strike by Ricochet. Carmelo with a shot back. It's been so fast-paced. Million miles an hour. Chopping away. Thrust kick. Forearm. These two exchanging shots back and forth. Ricochet throwing big forearms to Carmelo Hayes right against the ropes. Another big knee strike. Ricochet picking up Carmelo, planting him down. Big suplex. He's got him on his shoulders. Oh. Double knees. My only problem with this is the lack of selling. Like, there's some big moves being done here, and then moments later, they're absolutely fine, and we're doing another big move. Ricochet gets his shoulder up. I mean, we just saw Carmelo get, like, double knees. Oh, that's an amazing kick out. And literally, like, a second later is then, like, you know, back on the offense as if nothing's happened. No selling. Great match. 2 out of 10 says basically coffee. That's right. Yeah, that was my point. Just, but the big moves are very impressive. The springboard crossbody thing was amazing. Fight Forever chance, and it's playing to the crowd well. It's like AEW in it. It's a fast paced, high flying match. We knew it was going to be that for these two. And crowds are loving it. And it's similar with, like, you know, what you get with the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks. Fast-paced, high-flying, and that crowd loves it. Carmelo is trying to go up top. Ricochet, big shot there. Carmelo straight over. Big chop by Carmelo. Daze, what do you think will happen in the AEW main event? I'm probably leaning to CM Punk winning. We could get a heel turn. But I'm thinking CM Punk. We're in Chicago. Oof. Reverse Rana. Reverse Rana. Carmelo is down. Ricochet going back to the corner. Trick Williams is up. Ricochet underneath. Drop kick by Ricochet. Ricochet going over to the other side, climbing up. Carmelo is down in the ring. Ricochet looking for a splash, but Carmelo moves out the way. Little roll up. Carmelo retains with a roll up. Put in your thoughts on that one. What do you score that out of 5? Roll-up win for Carmelo. What if All Out ends with Sweet Home Chicago? Yeah. Yeah. Every pay-per-view ends on a song now. That was the ending this match needed, says Tommy. It's a bad way to end it, says Lewis. You can't end a match like that on a roll-up, says Adam. 375, 3.5. Very nice 3. 4.1 ending killed it. 2, 3, 4.5, 4, 3, 2.5, 5.5, 10 out of 10. 4.5. Hayden says 3.5. 3 only for the spots. Tarek says great match. Joe says 2.5. Ed said 1.5. Nicole said 4.75. No Fear said, I don't mind. It doesn't make Ricochet look weak. Match was fire. Becca said, I was rooting for Ricochet. Joseph says 4.25. Three, two, five, 3, 4, 6, 9, 3. God, I don't know if it's just me, but wrestling right now feels more divided and split than ever before. We've got, like, even for this one match, we've got 5 out of 5, and we've got like 2.5, 9 out of 10, 3, 2.5, 4. Basically, Coffee says 1 out of 5. It's not a roll-up, it's a small package. M23 said 2.5, very underwhelming. Jaden said, can't be Bobby. I saw that he has a US match with Miz in a steel cage. I like Braun, but I'm not the biggest fan. I want to see him return and get his moment tomorrow. Jeremy said, could you see Dominic changing his last name to Guerrero? Wow, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. That'd be pretty cool. If he changed his name to Dominic Guerrero, that'd be pretty cool. He wanted to completely distance himself from the Mysterio name. That would be cool. Oh, they're not going to show her blocking her again, are they? I'm not going to cope with that. It took me a long time to get over seeing her block her before. I'm not going to be able to cope with it. We're seeing Roxy right now. And Cora Jade. These two, I'm down for this feud. I'm really interested to see where we're going to go with this. I wanted to hurt her as much as she hurt me. I don't know that we've seen this exact video package before, but it feels like very similar to the one that we have seen on NXT. Oh my God, she's going through her phone, guys. She's going to block her again. I don't think I'll be able to watch. Watch your back, Cora. Don't forget, no one knows you better than I do. I can deal with blood. I can deal with blood. I can't deal with seeing a professional wrestler block another one on a phone. I can deal with Quincy though. Hi. Quincy Elliott. I like Quincy. They don't know me at all. I'm flyer than a reindeer in the winter. I feel like I've seen this one as well. I've definitely seen that Spice Girls t-shirt before. Y'all don't live the life of Quincy. I like his jacket. Super diva. I know that's not going to appeal to like everyone, but I'm on board with that. I like different characters in wrestling. And that is a different character. So I feel like Quincy would go well with Maximum Male Models. He gives me Velveteen Dream vibes before all the scandals, said Jaden. What a banger of a match, said Jackson, the WWE biggest fan. Ricochet should have one. Melo is a GOAT, and dang, he has had a long reign, and it's going to continue. Bianca said, who do you think is going to win the NXT Women's Championship Unification? I feel like it's probably Mandy. I mean, I would love for it to be Meiko Satomura. I mean, if we are going to change NXT and we are like moving away from Vince's vision, then Meiko winning makes a lot of sense. I mean, she is a wonderful in-ring competitor. I mean, one of the best females they have. Maybe the best female they have. I mean, she's absolutely incredible. I would absolutely put her in the top 5 female wrestlers they've ever had, Meiko Satomura. So, yeah, I hope for Meiko. But it could be Mandy. I mean, Mandy's reign has been very dominant, so it could be Mandy. I don't think Blair Davenport, but be quite a way to bring her in, wouldn't it? Welcome to NXT UK. Or welcome to NXT from NXT UK. Here's the belt. Oh, hello. Is that Roderick Strong? Roderick Strong is down in the NXT parking lot, battered, bloody. Why is he not receiving medical attention? Why is no one... Oh, okay, thank God someone finally is. Roderick Strong was down, battered, beaten. Ivy Nile has jumped in. She's gone with him. Really hope Tyler Bate wins, says 420. Where's 420? Shout out to you. That blooming NXT parking lot. Seeing the Creed brothers. Quincy Jones is the NXT Sunny Kiss, says Jim. Unbroken said Quincy sounds a little too go woke, go broke. Do it more like late Adrian Adonis. They mean anyway. He's dead, says Nicole is dead. Right, tag match. Tag match. Pretty Deadly versus Creeds versus Briggs and Jensen versus Gallus. So 4-way Lash Legend is here. Pretty ugly. Oh, very good. There's a sign that says pretty ugly. Very good. Very good. The UK parking lot, worse than Florida. Jane said, I think it was the other guy, not the Creeds. The other guy, I reckon he attacked Roddy to become the new leader. Is it, what's his name? Damian Kemp? Something like that. I know this is wrestling, but I've got a UFC question. What do you think about UFC 80, 81? I think 80 is going to be amazing. Same for 81, says Bianca. They tend to always end the year on a high, and certainly like the December card is known for being especially strong. The October card is 80. I mean, Oliveira Makachev is going to be very interesting, yes. Sterling Dillashaw, I think Sterling will win. Yarn against O'Malley will be interesting, but I'm leaning Yarn. Dariush against Gamrot, I'm probably leaning Dariush. Kayden against Fior, actually. I might go with Man and Fior on that. So, yeah, I mean, look, you got Bilal Muhammad. It's a really strong... What I really like about 80 is it's got a killer main event, but it's got real depth to it as well. There's real depth to that card. 81... this is the Adesanya Alec Pereira card. I don't think Pereira stands too much of a chance. I know he's beaten Adesanya, but I don't think he stands too much of a chance. I think this is MMA, and Adesanya's had so many experiences. I've got Adesanya winning. Carla Esparza against Zhang Wei Li. I think probably Zhang will get that done. Dan Hooker against Claudio. That's an interesting one, actually. That's a real interesting one. Dan Hooker might be washed, so... Claudio might get the victory there. Molly is on that card. They've got Molly Meatball against Erin Blanchfield, so that'll be interesting. There's some depth to that card as well, actually, now I'm looking at it. I think 80 looks better than 81. I'm more excited for 80 than I am 81. But that's the November card. Have they said anything about 82 yet? We're just getting the intros, by the way, if you are wondering what's happening. We're just getting Briggs and Jensen making their way down. Fallon Henley is in the ring. There's a couple of matches for 82, but not much yet. 282. No main event, for example. Eddie Kingston is AEW All Out. Do you think Fury Usyk happens? Maybe not. I mean, Fury has said that he had a time frame to answer and come back to him. And apparently Usyk doesn't want to fight until next year. Fury's like, forget it. He's got other offers on the table, so I don't know. It's going to be hard. Damon Kemp is his name. Eric said Adrian Street was in the movie Grunt as himself. I've never heard of Grunt. Loving that little fan. That I don't know who that fan is that's got the pretty ugly sign, but amazing. Amazing. Got a little like towel that they're swinging around and just having a great time. So, yeah, great. Right, all four teams are just brawling right now. Starts with a massive brawl. We've got several referees in there. Creed brothers in orange singlets. Briggs joined Judgment Day. What the hell? Do you think Sammy is going to be rejected because Solo's on the main roster now? I think, well, Sammy was always going to get kicked out at some point because he's not an Oos, is he? He's not blood. So he was always going to get kicked out. Maybe we are getting closer to that now. Yes, maybe we are getting closer to that. Belly to belly by one of the Creeds. So we're underway with this one. Creed Brothers for the win, says Nerd Upstairs. Well, I'll tell you what, we can do a poll. Let's do a poll, shall we? Who wins? Let's do this. 4 teams. Is it going to be Creeds? Is it going to be Pretty Deadly? Is it going to be Gallus? Is it going to be Briggs and Jensen? There we go. Almost 40 minutes into the show already, you know. Pin. Is Imperium back permanently? Don't know. I haven't seen any reports on whether they're back permanently or if it was just a one-night thing. We'll find out on SmackDown. Back elbow. They say UFC 278 will be the rematch of Glover and Jiri. I would have Jiri winning by knockout, but Glover might win. Great fight if it happens, says Bianca. That still won't be the main event, though, will it? That sounds like a co-main event, but obviously the title... Wow, actually, say that. Maybe it would be. Maybe it would be the main event. If it had a strong, I don't know, it just that doesn't feel to me like it's strong enough to like carry a card. It doesn't really compare to like Adesanya, and it doesn't really compare to Oliveira Makachev, for example. But maybe if it's got a strong co-main event, then, you know, maybe that's one where you would need 2 title matches. This thing is just a mass brawl at the moment. We got fighting on the outsides. Wolfgang rolling over to the other side. We got Pretty Deadly going over to the Creeds. So in the ring right now, we got Pretty Deadly. Good work by Pretty Deadly. I really like Pretty Deadly's ring gear. I really like it. It's so different. And I really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. I think ring gear is so important. Over the top. Go crashing down. Both Briggs and Jensen chucking themselves to the outsides. Pretty Deadly will pick up the victory, I think. I hope Jamie Hayter is going to turn on Britt, says Philly. Eric said, is there truth to the rumour AEW making exclusive UK line? What's that for figures? I've not heard anything about that. AEW Supreme Action figure line teased in London. Ultimate Edition figures leaked. Can't see anything in the way of rumours. Nothing. So just seems like speculation at this stage. So no, nothing. I've not seen anything on that. I've not had anyone send me anything on that. In UFC 281, if Zhang wins, I think Rose will come back and try to win it. Rose beat Zhang and Carla, and Rose run it back. Yes, I would expect Rose to come back and go. She's got 2 wins over Zhang Weili. Wolfgang looking for the pin. Heel kick. Wolfgang is down. Jensen. Oh, Jensen. Mark Coffey, I think, tried to get up on the ropes, and that meant that Jensen lost his footing. Jensen gets driven down. Coffey, 1, 2, 3. Coffey gets the win. Oh, the pin. Is it elimination? It's elimination. So they've been eliminated, so it won't be Briggs and Jensen. I didn't realise it was elimination. So we're down to 3 teams now. We're down to the Creeds, Pretty Deadly, or Gallus. So Briggs and Jensen eliminated by Gallus. Right, we've had a couple of 100 votes. Let's end this poll. Might as well end it because now we're starting to see teams get eliminated. Binard said Pretty Deadly are going to win. Who's your favourite UK star of any sport? Favourite UK star of any sport? I got a bit of a soft spot for Molly Meatball at the moment. I'm loving what she is doing. I think she's funny. I think she's hardworking. I think her fights are always entertaining. So really enjoying what she does. Yeah, it's hard to pick out one. I'd love to say Pete Dunne, but whilst he's butch, I'm kind of struggling with that. I might go Molly Meatball at the moment to kick out. Strike by Coffee and planting down Pretty Deadly, kick out. Pretty Deadly are in the ring at the moment. On their feet, against the ropes. Little roll up. 1, 2. Oh, I thought you got him then. I thought that was the end of Gallus. Lovely uppercut. It's picking him up. Round the back, holding onto the ropes. Oh, man, that kick was sick. That kick was great by Coffee. Paul Carpenter, shout out to you, my friend, said, I swear Henley Fallon looks like a young Stephanie McMahon. She has potential. I've not seen her matches, so I want to see her compete. She seems to be a confident talker. I mean, obviously, great look, but yeah, whenever I've seen her talk, she seems very comfortable. But I need to see what she wrestles like. I haven't seen her wrestle at all. Creeds are in there now. Here's Wolfgang and Brutus. Brutus knocking down Wolfgang. Knee to the midsection. Shots to the back. Down. Nice takedown. Great takedown. Big clubbing blows here by Brutus. Big shots just raining down on Wolfgang. Lovely German. He just grabs him and deadlifts him. The power of the Creeds is so impressive. Julius has got Wolfgang on his shoulders. Brutus up top, little bit wobbly, keeping his balance. There wasn't really much finesse to that move. He literally just jumped off the top and just kind of collided into him. Big shot, but it should get the job done. And that is Gallus eliminated. Gallus eliminated by the Creeds. It's either going to be Pretty Deadly or the Creeds. Pretty Deadly or the Creeds. Gallus can't believe it. I thought the judges messed up by making Carla win because there was nothing to judge. So it should have been a draw, said Bianca. I agree. It seemed like they gave her the fight because she kept trying for takedowns. But Rose made a really good point after that. It's a point I made on the stream and people were scoffing. Believe it or not, there were scoffers. But it seemed like Rose was punished for like having to defend so many takedowns. But Rose made the great point. She did defend them. I mean, takedown defense is something we always talk about. Like someone's takedown defense is really good or it's really bad. They need to work on their takedown defense. I mean, Rose just kept preventing takedowns, kept stuffing them. So, you know, it seemed like in the eyes of the judges, they were more with Carla because she kept trying for takedowns and she was the one trying to achieve something. But for me, if you try something and you don't succeed, you can't be rewarded for that. If you try to do something and you don't manage it, I don't get how the judges can be like, you won the fight. Whereas, you know, Rose was actually stopping takedowns. So, yeah, I agree. For me, it was a draw. It was very, very close. I mean, so close, I suppose you can't really argue because, you know, Rose should have done something in that fight. It was, 5 rounds of a lot of nothingness, and you're always going to run the risk, aren't you? So, yeah. I'm a massive Rose fan, and she got that wrong. She got it really wrong. Yeah, but it happens. Can't wait to see her again, see what she does. Pretty Deadly in control. Hashtag NXT tag titles. So we got the Creeds down in the corner. Do you think the Bloodline could potentially win all the belts? Solo with the IC and US. Naomi with both of the women's titles. Thoughts? Do I think they could win all of the belts? Well, they could win all the belts. I don't think they will win all the belts. But they could win all the belts. I mean, you could put like an IC on Sammy and a US on Solo, but I don't know. I mean, look, if Triple H wants to tell that story, he can. But I don't think that's the way they're going. I don't think that's the story they're telling. Like, I think Gunther's going to be IC champ for a while. I've got to look at like Bianca as someone that they love having kind of, you know, around the top of the card. Maybe not champ all the time. But if she's not going to be champ, are they going to put both belts onto Naomi? I don't think so. Naomi's lucky if she can get an opportunity at a belt, let alone win 2. So I would say that it's a story they could tell, but I would think it unlikely. Retribution said, I wish All Out was next weekend because then you could do Ruiz Ortiz for Labor Day without them clashing. Mm-hmm. Nice sleeper hold applied here by the blonde one from Pretty Deadly. I don't know his name. Blondie. Blonde Deadly. We've got a brawl in the entranceway. Down he goes. Julius, nice knee to the midsection. Picks him up. Delayed standing vertical. Knee strikes coming in, though. He's still keeping him up in the air. Incredible power. He's gone down to 2 knees, and he's still got him. He's still got him. That's sick. That is sick. That is sick. That is sick. Julius Creeds. God damn, man. God damn. Standing. Look at that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The referee just slid so much. He ended up sliding out the ring. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Some of the spots in this are absolutely insane. but they're not spots that are like flipping all over the place. It's amazing, like power moves. That is incredible. Drop kick by the blonde one from Pretty Deadly. I love the ref sliding out the ring. Gets caught. Julius catches him, plants him down. So he managed to deliver that suplex. He went for the cover. The ref slid, but slid so much he went straight out the ring. He styled it, though. I don't know if he meant to do that. He slid straight out the ring, and then it was like standing on the outside going 1, 2. Wow! Damon Kemp has turned. Chair shot, and he lays out the creeds. Wow. So Damon Kemp has turned on the creeds. What? So Pretty Deadly have won. Pretty Deadly have won. Pretty Deadly are the new tag champs. Thanks to Kemp turning. Get your scores in for that match. What are your scores for that match? Was that match better than the first? This is insane. He's got him in a delayed standing vertical suplex, and he's getting kneed in the head, and so he ends up going down onto his knees, and he's still holding him up in the air like this, and he ends up then getting back up to his feet. I mean, the strength to do that is staggering. It's staggering. It's like Davey Boy Smith strength. It's amazing. And then, to highlight it, the ref slips out the ring. 1, 2. So that was amazing. Then Kemp turning was really cool. 4.5, 4, 3.75, 3.5, 3.5. Cal said, I love that match. The delayed suplex was sick. 3.5, 5 out of 10. I loved it. 4.5. I thought the first match was like 3.75. I'm leaning to 4 on this one. It's really hard to know which match was better, the first one or this one. I think I feel like they're quite close because they're very different. But this one is more to my taste with the big delayed vertical suplex. Some really great moves in there. So Pretty Deadly have got both belts right now. They are the unified tag champs. Uh, 4.5, 5 out of 10, says Brendan. Love Pretty Deadly's style and character. They seem old school, says Nando. Creed Brothers need a call-up. Creed Brothers are just flipping insane. Creed Brothers are I just can't even. I just can't even. It would suck if Mandy wins over the other two women. I can't believe it. I called it, said Jadam. Right, well, apparently women's match next. So let's go. Who wins? Is it going to be Mandy Rose? Is it going to be Blair Davenport? Or is it going to be Meiko Satomura? Boom. That match was great. Kite said Roman match was 0. Same bleep. NXT Collide playing now. Coach Co said, if Daze reads this, I will change my name to Paluzzi. I mean, you don't have to. Good finish, but wrong team. I think it should have been Gallus, says Nashville man. Vids said, Mandy and her girls need to be on the main roster. We need more tag teams there. I don't know if we need that tag team. Brogan said, who do you think Roman will drop the titles to? I think Cody. I really don't know. I actually don't think Cody. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people are saying Cody wins Rumble and then beats Roman at WrestleMania. But is it not Roman Rock at WrestleMania? We're not going to get Roman Rock and Roman Cody. So I have to think that it's going to be Roman Rock. So that means Cody wins Rumble and does win the WWE title at WrestleMania, but I don't think he wins it from Roman. We need to get these belts separated, and then the picture will become a lot more clear. But I'm thinking maybe Cody wins it from Seth. Seth's had a great year, so I could see them rewarding Seth with the title. And if Cody's going to come back from a long injury, then you might want to put him in the ring with someone he's already worked with that's got a lot of chemistry with. So I think Cody wins it from Seth. Who does Roman lose it to? Maybe Theory. Don't forget, Theory is going to cash in at some point. Don't know who he'll cash in on. But if Roman gets past WrestleMania, then maybe Theory. The only problem is, do we really want this Roman title reign to end with a cash-in? I don't. To be honest, I don't. A heel cashing in on a heel, that sucks. Plus also, I think it's better if Theory cashes in on Cody. So I wouldn't go that way, to be honest. I don't know, it's hard. It's really difficult. I reckon by the time Roman loses it, we could be past WrestleMania. And we could be looking at... I really don't know. I mean, I can throw names out there for people that could win it. I mean, Gable Steveson could win it. Bron Breakker could win it. They could all debut at the Rumble. And by the time we get into May, they might look at it and go, let's pull the trigger. I mean, they moved quick on Brock. So we could move quick on Bron. We could move quick on Gable. I don't think it'd be Carrion. I'd love for it to be Sammy. I'd love for it to be Sammy, but I don't think it will be Sammy. But yeah, I don't think it will be Cody. One bad fish spoils the tank. We're just hearing from Tony at the moment. Always bigger fish. Hey, I'm talking to you. Come here. Jensen said Davenport for the dub. Stick around. Make me an offer. Cameron Grimes turns him down. I mean, who's Grimes just turned down? He just turned down, what was it, the flipping Gacy clan. And now he's got Tony trying to recruit him. Braun will be on Raw, said Walter. Everyone wants to recruit Cameron. Would love to see Kevin Owens with another run. That would be good. Yep, I'm down for Owens being the one. I'm down for that. Yep. Bianca said Zhang doesn't deserve a title shot. I think Rose does because they didn't land anything. And every time someone loses their title, they run it back. What do you think? I think that the fight was boring between Rose and Carla. And I think that it was close, but it was dull. And I think that it's not wrong for UFC to want to prioritize. If you've got women that are quite close, and I would say Rose and Zhang are quite close, and Zhang's coming off a massive win over Joanna, so I actually don't mind. I don't mind. I'm a big Rose fan, but I get it. I think Rose let herself down. I think that it was a boring fight, and I can understand UFC wanting to reward Zhang because Zhang got a very, very good victory over Joanna. Great knockout win, and do that. I mean, you could do Carla against Zhang. I think Zhang wins, and then you just do Rose Zhang, which has always been great fights. So it'll fall into place. I don't think it's the biggest issue. Here's Satomura then. I am honored to be your champion. Here is Meiko. I would totally go to NXT if I went to Florida just to see Meiko Satomura. I went to a local show in Wolverhampton, which is about 40 minutes away. I went there just to see Meiko Satomura. She's held that belt for 430 days. This is going to be a challenge, though. It's a triple threat. She can lose without losing. No way is she doing the honors. Surely. If she is losing, no way is she the one that's being pinned. The final boss? No. Japanese icon. There's a Mandy Rose section. Meiko in the ring then. No matter who wins, Meiko is the queen of NXT, says Kite High. Harvey said, I think after a few months, Seth will be a WWE champion because after Riddle is done, Seth will get his rematch. Remember, Roman got DQ'd at the Royal Rumble. I just don't know how we're going to get there. I really don't know how we're going to get there. I don't know how we get one belt off Roman. That is something they really need to figure out. Here's Blair Davenport. Rock versus Roman is going to be a triple threat if they have for the titles because they wouldn't waste a Rumble on Rock. So it's going to be Rock versus Roman, maybe Cody or Drew. No, I don't think it will. I don't think that you do Rock Roman and you water it down by adding a third person. I think that's a match that's all about family. To me, it's about family. To me, it's not even really so much about the belts. It's about family. It's about honor. It's about maybe The Rock feeling that Roman has disrespected the Anoa'i family or represented the Anoa'i family badly. And I think adding in like a third person that's just only there because they're after the belt, that wouldn't feel like the right move to me. So, I mean, I can't say they're not going to do that, of course, but I don't think they'll do that. I mean, I think they will separate the belts, and then the Rumble winner will go after the other person, whoever's got the other belt. Here's Mandy with her USA glasses, already in her ring gear. She chucks those glasses. Thankfully, the guy he didn't need to catch those. Did she throw the glasses or some money? I don't know what she threw. She threw something and he caught it. I thought she'd thrown her glasses. Do you think WWE needs to get rid of TLC, Extreme Rules, WrestleMania Backlash, bring back Armageddon, Great Balls, and Evolution? No, I definitely don't think that. Great Balls, there was only one of, and they've only ever done it once, and I don't think people were clamoring for another. I mean, there's nothing special about Great Balls of Fire. It's just the name, but it's a weird name. I wouldn't be bringing that back. And Evolution was a flop. It was not a success, hence why they've not done any more. So I don't think they're in a rush to bring that back. You know, Evolution did not do well viewing-wise. It's I believe the same with NWA Empower, which was an all-women show. I don't think that did very well viewing-wise either, which is why NWA are not looking to do another one. I don't mind them getting rid of TLC and replacing it with something different. Or, you know, Hell in a Cell and replacing it with something different, but some of those would not be my replacements. I do love her glasses. And Mandy is looking great here. Hope she can wrestle a good match. They should do Bad Blood, says Harvey. I don't think Daze wears pants or underwear below the desk. No. Okay, here we go. Women's match. Where are we with the votes? 54% of you think that, the majority of you think that it is going to be Mandy Rose. So, Mandy Rose versus Blair Davenport versus Meiko Satomura. Mora. Amazing, isn't she? She looks amazing. Her ring entrance gear looks amazing. We've never had a Meiko Satomura figure, but I hope that's something Mattel are working on. How about Cody wins Rumble, beats Roman at Mania? Little problem for that. Without reading anymore, I really want Roman Rock. So I'd have to say no, because I want Roman Rock. I will read the rest, though. Fiend attacks Cody. Cody was Bray's trainer in NXT. Gets a huge moment for Cody and a huge moment with Bray's return. I mean, you can do that match later. SummerSlam or something like that. But I really do want Rock against Roman. Who's screaming? I have no idea. Someone in the crowd. Triple threat underway. Blair Davenport goes to kick Meiko Satomura, and now we've got Blair Davenport and Mandy Rose both working together. Forearm smash by Meiko. She's having to try and deal with both of them here. Kick to the midsection. Meiko backs up. Big clubbing blow to the back as Meiko goes down. Meiko against the ropes. Double elbows, and down goes Meiko Satomura. So at the moment, Blair Davenport, Mandy Rose on the same page. Matt said maybe we could get War Games back on the main roster. Maybe. I do have a slight problem with War Games. Like, my only issue with War Games is that it takes absolutely ages to get everyone in the ring. And, like, about 20 minutes or whatever. And then the match starts. I wish that it could finish at any point. I would make that change with War Games. Because the thing is that once everyone's in, you always get that moment where both teams are on in each ring. Like, you know, the action's going, but it'll settle down. And so I always think everything that's just happened is irrelevant. Everything that I've just watched for 20 odd minutes has been completely pointless. Because we always get to the point where both teams are lined up against each other. Like, and so I feel like the opening 20 minutes of War Games is just an absolute waste of time. So that's my problem with War Games. Other than that, it can be very good. Meiko getting dragged out the ring by Blair. Picking up Meiko, slamming her down. Kicks coming in. We're on the outside of the ring at the moment. Blair looking in the ring. Mandy Rose said, "This is my world, let's go." Mandy Rose in the ring as Blair Davenport slides in. Blair Davenport going over, she gets taken down. So Mandy in control. Mandy grabbing Blair Davenport. Davenport rolling through. Kick out by Mandy. Going for a clothesline against the ropes. Head scissor takedown. Mandy over in the corner. Big forearm. Nice takedown again there by Blair. Drop kick in the back of the head. Mandy Rose down to kick out by Mandy. Daze, you are right. Even if Roman is champ at Mania, the match with Roman Rock will be non-title. Drew was asked about it and said it didn't need to be a triple threat all for the titles. I would like Survivor Series to include NXT again, said Nor Wrestling Pod. Just like 2019, I would like to see Bron Breakker beat Roman, but not for the belts. That would make such a big star. Let's go Mandy chant. Trip over by Meiko. Meiko grabbing Mandy, trying to drag her out the ring. Forearm smash. Mandy goes down. Blair is gone over to the outside. Blair running, looking for a kick, but Meiko grabs the leg. Blair Davenport goes down. Blair Davenport slumps down on the outside as Meiko comes in. Big kick by Meiko. Blair is over against the ring steps. And we're getting some big strikes coming in by Meiko Satomura, but Mandy Rose drives her into the edge of the ring. So at the moment, we've got all three of these competing against each other. At the start, we did have Blair Davenport working with Mandy, but now they're competing against each other. Yelling Daze, who won the match? Who won the match? What match? Any of the matches. So far, we've had Carmelo, Hayes, and we've also had Pretty Deadly. This is match number 3. And we've still obviously got Bate against Bron Breakker. And we've also got something else. Doudrop and Nikki ASH taking on Carter and Chance. I was trying to remember who was involved. Meiko. Ooh, driving a knee down into the throat of Blair Davenport. So we've got Meiko and Blair Davenport in the ring right now. Meiko working on the leg. Why throw it? She can brag. Why throw it? That plastic belt will break. Don't know what you mean. It's not ideal, but it gets a title off Roman without him losing, says Dark Angel. I didn't see your suggestion, to be honest. Is it what, for him forfeiting the belt or something? Big strike by Blair. Zex says Tyler Bate needs a main roster run. Maybe beat Bobby for the US title. Right, we've got Blair over in the corner. Blair bouncing up. She's gone up top. Mandy grabs her leg, pulls her off the ring. Mandy's like... Meiko is in the ring, waiting for Mandy to step. There's Meiko. Meiko's got, like, lipstick on her gum shield. Let's go. That must be... that can't be fun. To have Meiko Satomura saying, let's go, step in the ring. Straight there by Mandy. Mandy with another forearm strike. These two just trading blows back and forth. Getting driven back against the ropes. Mandy off the ropes, duck underneath, against the ropes again. Collides into Meiko. Meiko goes down. Mandy. Mandy said, this is my world. Kick to Meiko. Kick again. Kick to the chest. Stomping away. Meiko getting back up to her feet. Forearm strike. Meiko goes down. Meiko, smile on her face, getting back up. She gets kicked down. Meiko right back again. Mandy's constantly shoving her back, but Meiko gets up to her feet. Again, pushing on the head. Blocks the shot. Forearm, big forearm coming back. Lots of forearm strikes in this. Upcut there by Meiko. Mandy Rose goes down to her feet. Love those kicks. Great kicks by Meiko. Mandy's top may not last the length of this match, says Leo. Adam Pearce announces a new rule that titles must be defended every 30 days. Roman fails to do it, so as punishment, he has to surrender a title, says Dark Angel. Spinebuster by Mandy. Ron said Seth demands a rematch against Roman, but because Roman only had the one belt when Seth was screwed, it's only for the WWE title. Blair is back in. Some interesting thoughts here about how we get the one belt off of Roman. Mandy is an expert in catch as great cans, says Vape Ross Vape. Harley said, Daze, maybe Seth beats Roman at Survivor Series for the belt as it's the Shield 10-year anniversary. Then Cody wins Rumble and beats Seth at Mania and you still get Rock Roman. I am definitely down for that. The only thing, and there's only one problem I've got with that, and it's not even a problem, to be honest. The only thing is, how would people feel if Seth was the first one to beat Roman since 2019? Like, will some people say it should be a younger star? Will people say that Seth's, maybe not the right person to do it? I don't know. I'm just trying to preempt like what people might say. We've seen Roman beat Cena, Goldberg, Daniel Bryan, Edge, Drew McIntyre. Like, the list is long. Like, what would the reaction be like if Seth is the one that does it? Because I feel like whoever is the one now to beat Roman, it's a little bit Undertaker streakish, isn't it? It's a little bit Undertaker streakish. Who is the one that's going to be able to do it? Who is the one? Is it right that it would be Seth? That would be my only question, because putting the belt on Seth and then doing Seth Cody makes sense. Being able to do Rock Roman makes sense. So everything about it makes sense. Tick, 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 tick. The only one box that I'm struggling to put a tick in is Seth the right person to win that title off of Roman? I don't know. I can see why people would be like, unless there's a reason that Seth gets it. Unless there's a reason, maybe Rock costs Roman. Perhaps Rock comes back. What if Roman is making noise about The Rock? What if in the build Roman is like, I'm the head of the table, I'm the best this family's got, and someone says Rock somewhere, and he's like, The Rock. Rock's got nothing on me and you know it. Or maybe it's in an interview, and maybe there's just a few mentions about The Rock, and then at Survivor Series, you do Seth versus Roman. During the match, The Rock's music hits. Roman looks over. That distraction means that Seth wins the title. So Seth is the one, but it's thanks really down to The Rock for a distraction. And then that helps build Rock Roman. That might be a bit more palatable for some. Because I like it. That's very much the area that I'm in. Very much the area I'm in, yes. So I do like it. And the Shield 10-year thing's nice tie-in as well, so. Meiko almost with a 3 count, but Blair Davenport with a stump from the heavens. Blair has got Meiko. Knee strike there by Blair. Looking for a pin. 1, 2. Oh, I thought that was it. I thought Blair had just got the 3 count. I think she thought it as well. Yeah, I think she thought it. What if Roman gives Solo a title for saving him? Oof, I don't know how people would feel about that. Because surely it's all about power. If you've got the belt, you've got money. I mean, that's I don't know. That's a hell of a gift. You can give money and you can give responsibility, but I think everything in WWE really is about getting those belts. I don't know that it actually fits Roman's character to... Because he'd be sharing the limelight, and that's not Roman. Back elbow by Blair. I think Seth should beat Roman for the championship, not end the Universal reign. I agree. That would make Rollins have a world title, but Roman's reign not be over. I agree. Yeah, I want him to get to 1,000 days, which I got told, I think Jim said, was it, that it's May something. So Blair has got Mandy up. Mandy with a low kick. Mandy going against the ropes, looking for a strike. Meiko. Ah! Scissor kick, back of the head by Meiko. Meiko round the back of Blair, looking to... big knee strike. Both women go down. Meiko's over in the corner. Mandy, 1, 2, 3. Mandy gets the pin. Mandy gets the win. Mandy is the champ. Mandy wins. Mandy wins. Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose. Na 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 na. Getting your thoughts for that match. I think it might have been the weakest, maybe, so far. Still some really nice stuff in there. I feel a bit sorry for Meiko. I feel like Meiko's a wonderful wrestler, but the problem with triple threats is it always waters people down. Not the biggest fan of triple threats. Much prefer just one-on-one matches. And I think, if you'd have done, say, Mandy against Meiko, that could have been fire. But Mandy gets it done for 3.5, 3.53. Mandy didn't pin Satomura, so yay. That's true. She pinned Davenport. That's true. 2.5. She's crying. Oh, my God. Everyone cries. All these women cry. 3. What if Tyler Bate wins so Bron can go the main roster? Maybe. It'll be interesting if he does. I'm thinking it'll be Bron, but... What's this? Is this about women or Sensational Sherry or what? This is awesome. Most badass women. Oh, that looks good. Program all about badass women. 2 out of 7. I wish it was Blair. 4 said Chris. Joseph says 3. Lightning Man says 5 out of 5. Fidel said 275. Serious Gamer says 3. Lady B XOXO said 4.5. Satomura sold it. Bill said CM Punk cries. Denise says boo Roman. Hayden said 2.5. Daze is a Mandy Rose simp, says Annette. I don't think so. There are good spots in that fight, 4 said Zoom Station. Trini says 2. Peacock is giving us medicine commercials. Right now, I've got an Alba Fire promo. That's what I'm looking at. So I've got Alba Fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So, had that. Now we're looking at this clip, man, where Axion and Nathan Frazier are reading comics. Should have dropped it and gone to the roster. 5, it's a very good pay-per-view. Nicholas said, do you play 2K22? I don't. No, I don't even have it, actually. AEW All Out should be good. My question is, who do you think will make their return? I'm wondering who will make their return. Who's out, to be honest? I don't even know who's missing at the moment because we've already had Kenny come back. We've had Cole come back. We've had Danielson come back. So I don't even know who's out injured, who's due to return. Who are we missing? AEW roster. So we are going to see Nathan Frazier taking on Axiom, best of 3. That is this Tuesday. I'm just looking at the AEW roster, but in all fairness, it doesn't tell me who's inactive at the moment. So I genuinely don't know who's been out with injuries, like who's due to come back. So I think a lot of the big ones, all the ones that I was thinking of, they're back. Darius Martin, he's out injured. I found a list now. Jeff Hardy is suspended. Kyle O'Reilly, don't know when he's due back. Santana, I think he's only just gone out injured. There's actually not many. There's not many. Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch. I don't think that's going to set the world on fire. Thunder Rosa's only just gone off injured. So there's not really anyone missing. We're just seeing Wes Lee. If JD wants to get weird, let's get weird on Tuesday. So it looks like JD McDonough is going to be taking on Wesley. NXT's official theme is one duo featuring Justin Starling, and it's called Collide. Here we go, lady tag team time. Katana Chase, Kayden Carter taking on Nikki ASH and Doudrop. Nikki ASH versus Carter and is it Chance? Here's Doudrop. No video package? I thought we was going to get a video. Are we perhaps we're running over? We've just got to get straight to it. Doudrop. I reckon when the fans hijacked the Bayley match singing is why they ended up telling Fury to sing, thinking the crowd would be on board, but it's not a song everyone knows words to, says Undercover Manager. I really get the feeling that I get the feeling that was something that was a bit impromptu and was probably meant for the live crowds. And I think what we're meant to have seen is we were meant to see Roman walking away, go back to the ring, and then like Fury, like, you know, come on, Drew, you're going to be all right. Maybe holding his arm in the air, you know, as the crowd cheer, and then like it cuts the feed. Because I think his promo that Fury cuts, and especially the song, or like, just feels so out of place. They just feel really weird to be on a pay-per-view. It's the kind of thing that you would do at a house show, that you would, like, you know, talk to the crowd directly. I mean, even Drew said, I don't even know if we're still live now. I mean, like, when have you ever seen a WWE pay-per-view where the talent has said, I don't even know if we're still live right now, but come on, let's sing. I mean, it felt like when he started doing the Oasis song, that was legitimately straight off the top of his head. Like, what song do I know that we can sing? Like, it was so weird. It was so weird that I do really, really question if it was part of the plan. But either way, it happened. And, you know, people thought of it what they thought of it. And on we move. On we go. Katana, Chance, and Kayden Carter have come down to the ring. Nikki ASH and Doudrop in the ring as well. This is for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Do you think they could build up Corbin, give him a lone wolf gimmick, and have him as a killer boxing Grand Slam champ, let him win Rumble, have him beat Roman as he is the last to pin him? But they could. I mean, could they do that? Yes. But I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, I think he's jumping in the car with JBL. So that makes me wonder if we're going to give him something new. I mean, I don't know that JBL is the kind of person that's going to turn Corbin back into the lone wolf. Do you know what I mean? I feel like JBL is going to talk to him about money. I mean, JBL is a very interesting person to have in that role, because JBL strikes me as the kind of person that's going to teach Corbin how to be a heel, how to cheat, these are things that he does anyway. But it feels like we're leaning a bit more into the money side. You know, when he was Happy Corbin and he was like rich and gloating about it. Like, I don't know if JBL's not just going to build him back up, basically, build his confidence back up. I don't know that I see it being a massive change of character, because I just don't think JBL's going to do that. I don't see how a conversation with JBL turns this version of Corbin into the lone wolf. So it's interesting. There's clearly something going on. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with it. Chance springboarding over the top of Doudrop. Doudrop still catching her though. Kayden Carter throwing Chance to the outside. Chance going over the top, comes crashing down onto Doudrop. Carter with a pin. What show was Nikki Cross before ASH? Only saw on the video game. Well, I don't know if she's been on Raw and SmackDown, but she was in NXT as well. She was in Sanity. She then got brought up to the main roster. She might have been everywhere, actually. She might have been on NXT Raw and SmackDown. Carter gets thrown on top of Chance by Doudrop. Doudrop doing all the work. Senton! Doudrop lands on Carter, who is on top of Chance. Chance managing to kick out. Doudrop, she didn't quite... It was actually an elbow that she dropped. Either way, look at the size difference between Chance and Doudrop. Chance looks like something Doudrop would eat for lunch. Kicks coming in by Nikki ASH. Nikki ASH exploding in there. Fired up. One more match to go after this. Bron Breakker taking on Tyler Bate. If they give that time, it should be a really great match. Gregor, shout out to you. Hope you're well. Corbin could wear a cowboy hat, arrive in a limo, and wear a suit. Yeah, I mean, if that good point. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking. JBL is gonna, if he is gonna change Corbin, he's either gonna restore him back and give him his confidence back, or yes, we will start seeing him in suits and seeing him like in that way. I think it's interesting that JBL is the person that's doing this. Because if it was, someone else, then I would think that they would be changing him in a different way. But if it's because of it being JBL, I'm thinking along those lines. Chance being thrown in the ring. Petra, shout out to you. Hope you are well. JBL would never ride in a BMW limousine, says Kite High. Mr. Meme said, I only just joined. Is this a good show so far? It is actually, yeah. I think we've had 3 matches. This is match number 4. I scored the Ricochet match about 3.75. The tag match, I gave it a 4. I don't know if it should have been 3.75 or not, but we'll go 4. There was some stuff in there I loved. Last match, I was about a 3.25. There's been nothing that's been a disaster. There's been nothing that's been like, oh my God, this has not been a chore to sit through at all. But, and this actually has got some nice intensity to it. We are seeing Nikki ASH really bring in some fire. And Chance and Carter are quite impressive with their tag team work. They've been teaming for so long together. They've become an actual tag team. Like, they've got some really nice tag team spots. So, double axe handle here by Doudrop. Doudrop going over. She Forearms into Carter. Seeing Doudrop deliver an elbow to Chance is incredible. I mean, Chance is so small. She's like the same size as a Doudrop leg. Chance is selling the effects of that elbow drop. In comes Nikki ASH. JBL is going to build a small stable of workers called Equity with Corbin Grimes. I'm struggling to think of another member. What, you'd have Corbin and you'd have Grimes. What do you need? Someone that looks good in a suit. Someone that looks good in a suit that's all about money. Why don't we do something with Veer? Have you ever seen Veer in a suit? Veer, when he was waiting to debut, was constantly putting up pictures on social media. He looks in a suit. You really might not think that, you might think I've lost my mind. In a suit, he looks so sharp. Honestly, it was in some shops, just like waiting to debut. And I think there's pictures of him in a suit and he's like, I'm just biding my time. But the great thing about him is that he would be the big muscle of that group. So if you did want Grimes, Corbin as the leader, Grimes as the kind of, guy that goes after the mid-card belt, and then you want the heavy, you want the muscle, Veer. And we don't really know what to do with Veer at the moment. So I would go Veer, actually. Which people will think I've lost my mind on, I'm sure. But as I said, if you've seen him in a suit, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm just having a look, actually, so you can see a picture. Because I want to further cement my point. But I don't know if I'll be able to find any images. I've seen a few posts of him. There's one. I don't know that this is the best example, but I'll show this. Carter's in there at the moment with Doudrop. Super kick by Carter. Doudrop and Carter go down. That's Veer in a suit. So if you think Veer in his kind of, he's got his face paint on and all that kind of stuff. But if you put him in a nice looking shirt, trousers, you put him in a suit, he's going to look really cool. So, I would go Veer. I'd put him in with Grimes and Corbin. I think those three together could look kind of cool. Nikki ASH is down. Champ's going for the pinch. Kick out. Cal said Nate Diaz is starting a fight promotion. Is he? It's interesting. Cal, shout out to you. He does a lot of training anyway, but to start his own promotion, that's interesting. Here is Carter, face first, into the middle turnbuckle. This match has been fine. It's got a nice pace to it. I'm not down on this at all. Nice net breaker. 1, 2. Chance makes the save. There's just a whole pile of bodies at the moment. Chance gets thrown out the ring. Doudrop down on her knees. Getting back up to her feet, gritted teeth. Going over to Carter. Carter with the back elbow. Carter is climbing up. Doudrop with a big slap. Carter flops back. She's grabbing Carter. She's going for a suplex. Someone's coming down. What's happening? Toxic Attraction are getting involved. The music's playing. There they are. Toxic Attraction have come down. Drop kick by Nikki ASH. Cross body by Nikki ASH. Toxic Attraction go down. That distraction by Attraction is allowing Carter and Chance. Drop in the background. 1, 2. And Chance and Carter win. So Chance and Carter win. Thanks to a distraction. Well, it was more than a distraction. Yeah, it's an assist, really, by Toxic Attraction. Do you think The Miz will win the US title or Bobby Lashley will retain? I think Bobby will retain. Get in your scores for that match. What did you think about that match? Zoom Station said 2.5. Michael said, how about replacing Survivor Series with War Games, but just change the bits you said? Would you like it then? Survivor Series needs a lot of help. Would I like it? Well, I would definitely, I would like War Games more, yes. I probably wouldn't do it though. If we make those changes, like if War Games can end at any time and it's not match starts as soon as everyone's in, then I would be down for that being a pay-per-view that could replace TLC or whatever. But I think Survivor Series has been going since the late 80s. It's such a well-known, well-established brand that I would be reluctant to lose it. I think what it needs is it just doesn't need to be Raw and SmackDown. It just needs to be, let's build up teams that then can, compete against each other. Like the Bayley team against Bianca and Asuka and Alexa. You could easily evolve that into a Survivor Series match. Judgment Day and Edge Rey Mysterio, you could easily evolve that into a match for Survivor Series. So, there's ways of getting there. Bloodline could take on, Street Profits and Kevin Owens or whatever, and you could easily get a match out of that. So I feel like rather than Raw SmackDown, you just need to build really engaging feuds and just go back really to how it was in a way. Go back more to how it was. Okay, we're just hearing from Waller. Hey, Grayson Waller just bragging about how amazing he is. I don't need friends. I don't need family. There we go. Grayson Waller. Street Profits hit row against Bloodline, says Typical Summers. We mustn't forget Nikki ASH was once women's champion, said Scuba Diver Porter. Kite said they need to have Indies and NXT and Raw and SmackDown on this show. Kingdom Consensus says JBL will help Corbin with his heel swag. Talking of swag, we're just seeing an advert for swag right now. NXT 2.0 shop. Now a Fanatics experience. Get merch for all your favorite NXT superstars. Tony, Bron, the belts, Toxic Attraction. Okay. Just talking about on Tuesday what is coming up. JD Madonna taking on JD McDonald's taking on Wesley. Sin Cara 2.0 taking on Nathan Frazier. It's got a very comic book feel to it in the graphics. Don't know if that's something that we're keeping. Be here live with us on Tuesday. Hashtag NXT Worlds Collide coming to a close. One match left to go. Time for talk is over. No more time for talk, guys. Tyler Bate, Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate, na 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 na. Tyler Bate, Tyler Bate, Tyler Bate. I hope he can do it. I'm firmly behind Tyler here. Big strong boy, big strong boy, big strong boy. Who wins? That's the question. One more poll. Who wins? Soon as we're done with this, we will obviously be turning our attention. I'll need a few minutes just to get a few things set up, but I won't need that long in all fairness. But we'll get a few things set up, and then we'll be back with AEW All Out. NXT UK for me is home, says Tyler. It started with me and it will end with me. I would like to see a varsity club type faction. I think Alpha Academy evolves a bit. Add Bron and the Creed brothers. Have Gable and Otis work singles. Maybe they would need a coach manager. Gulak, question mark, says undercover manager. Gulak. Bron will win, says L and Twins, because all the NXT UK champs have lost. Typical Summer said, I love Mustache Mountain. Alex said, I enjoyed being at Clash, but one thing I hated was the fact that someone thought it would be appropriate to shout abuse at me for wearing a mask. No reaction from me at all. Mr. Meme said, did you see that All Out has got 15 matches? How long will it be? So I have cleared my diary for the rest of September, and I'm ready. If we're not done by Wednesday, it's really not a problem. Like, I am going to be ready. I'm going to get some bananas, going to get a coffee, flask of coffee. I've got a tent set up over there. I've got my sleeping bag. My loved ones know exactly where I am. I've got a month's supply of water. So I'm absolutely sorted. I've rented a porta potty. So I've got that in the corner as well in case I need to run away and go. So I'm absolutely covered. It's got every base covered. So days. How long will it last? Days. It's going to be days. It's going to be a marathon. It's going to be an absolute marathon. But hopefully it'll be a good marathon. There is the NXT title. We're just seeing Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker. Grabbing his belt. Smile on his face. It's a nice looking title, actually. I don't mind that title. That's a nicer looking title. Tyler Bates. Bop and bang. Come on, Tyler. Come on, mate. Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate. Na 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 na. Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate. Na 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 na. You need Nando's and weed, says Bill. Nah, I'm not in a very airy environment, so got to be careful with things like that. Weed's fine, but Nando's, I mean, you need good ventilation for Nando's. Wrestling Daze, who do you think will win, Bron Breakker or Tyler Bates? I think it'll be Bron. I think it'll be Bronathan Breakker that's going to get the job done. Do you got your pizza covered? Can't watch WWE without pizza. Wow. No. Because it's not WWE, it's AEW, so joke's on you. I don't need to worry about watching WWE without pizza because it's AEW. And you can watch AEW without pizza. Daze, wouldn't Corbin JBL thing be similar to Grimes' $1 million thing, but without the $1 million title? Wouldn't it be similar? Well, I feel like it's going to be similar, yes. if you remember, like Grimes kind of tidied himself up and had the $1 million championship. We're just seeing Tyler backstage looking at iconic NXT UK moments being projected onto the wall. There is Ilya Dragunov. So just seeing some of the great moments NXT UK gave us. Tyler steps through the curtain. Here he comes. Who is your favourite WWE champion? Hard to not say Bruno. It's. I mean, like there's so many. But it's hard to not say Bruno. I love the fact that there was this massive John Cena, Roman Reigns, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin type character well before, like 20 years before WrestleMania. Like, it blows my mind that there was someone that big, that monumental, that historic, that was around 20 years before WrestleMania. I mean, it's so unlucky that WrestleMania was not around in the 60s. Because if WrestleMania had been around in the 60s, WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 5, WrestleMania 6 all would have been main evented by Bruno Sammartino. So he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. Babyface throughout his whole run. Absolutely loved. I feel like Bruno, I've got a real soft spot for him. To be honest, a big part of that is because of his backstory. The fact that, he was having to hide from the Nazi Germans up in Mount. If you've never heard his backstory, it's incredible. His family had to hide in mountains because the Germans came into their village. And so they had to hide from them for a long, long time. And his mom used to have to go down to try and get food and come back up without getting caught. And they were just kids, and he became like really sick and didn't think he was going to survive. And I think one of his brothers or something did actually pass away. I mean, it's a horrific story. Horrific. He went from like literally they had nothing. They went from that to move into America and becoming what he became. I mean, it's just incredible. It's an incredible story. So I've got a real soft spot for him. Hometown, Dudley, England. Yeah! Tyler Bate literally putting Dudley on the map. Here we go then, main event time. Let's go, Tyler. Let's go, Tyler. Come on, Bron, said Basketball Pro. Who do you think is better, Meiko or Mandy? Meiko by a country mile. Not even close. They're not even in the same neighborhood. Tyler Two Belts is the chant. Tyler Two Belts. Tyler Two Belts. Tyler Two Belts. Tyler Two Belts. The crowd have made their feelings known. Tyler Two Belts is what they want. They lock up. I mean, Bron is bigger, but I would argue Tyler has got a better mat-based wrestling knowledge. I mean, Bron is going to have a good wrestling knowledge as well. But I think when it gets down to the mat, I think takedowns, power, things like that, changing levels is with Bron. But when you're actually both down on the ground and it's grappling and it's like different moves and different holds, I think that's with Tyler. Tyler getting Bron against the ropes, but he's in a headlock at the moment. One count. Still side headlock being applied. 1, Again, still side headlock being applied at the moment by Bron. Tyler trying to get out of it. He's getting back up to his feet. He's trying to grab the arm of Bron, but Bron has still got this headlock applied. Keeping a close eye on this. This is our main event of the evening. There's absolutely potential for this to be 4.25, 4.5, 4.75, 5 stars. We could be... Picks him up. Tyler down. Kick to the midsection. Double underhooks. Nothing. No, it was looking for the Tyler driver, but couldn't get it. Bron rolls through. Kick out by Tyler. Bron comes in. Looking for the backslide by Tyler Bate. He gets the backslide. And 2 count. Both shoulder tackle each other. They both kip up. Lovely. 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 Number 1 trend in the United States. Hashtag NXT Worlds Collide. It is the number 1 trend right now. Don't you dare tell me that it isn't. Don't you dare tell me it isn't, because it is. Big strong boy. I remember Tyler's match against Volta. It was epic, says Ricochet. What happened? Bron Breakker does lose this match. I'd love to see him on the main roster, says Davids. I would love to see that. I think he is going to the main roster. It's just a case of when, isn't it? Tyler working on the arm here of Bron. Bron getting back up to his feet. Tyler again working on the arm. Takes Bron down. He's still got the arm. Oof. Tyler pulling down on the arm. Good work so far. And into the corner goes Tyler. Tyler slipping underneath. Good work there by Tyler. Getting round the back of Bron. Over the top. In between the legs. I didn't get that spot then. There's a moment where Tyler taps his leg as if to say, take this. And I don't know if he's doing it because he's basically saying, take this now. Or did he do it because he's like, my leg's here, single leg takedown if you want to go for it. So I don't know if it was an instruction or if he was goading him. I don't know what that was. There's a moment where Tyler Bates like taps his leg and Bron does go for that leg. He does go for that leg. So as I said, I don't know, was it an instruction or was he goading him to say like, you can get my leg here. Single leg takedown is available if you want to go for it. Either way, very quick exchanges. Bron grabbing a hold of the legs here of Tyler. Tyler trapping the arm. Managing to get around. Yeah, really good mat wrestling. This is what we mean about Tyler when the fight is down on the ground. Very impressive with his moveset. Very, very impressive. He's got the arm at the moment, but Bron's managed to get to his feet. This is where I think Bron can use his power. Bron has got nice Hurricanrana. In Tyler. Tyler up in the air. Bron parading him around. Look at this. Suplex, lovely. I think Johnny Saint did the lag tap like Bate did. For Tyler being so young, he's so experienced, says Typical Summers. Daze wears a beanie all year round, and of course he smokes weed, says Cliff Beavers. Corvid said, these matches aren't really title communications, they're title absorptions, since NXT UK is being phased out. Angav said, pure strength by Bron. Yeah, Mick said, I'm back from eating sushi. Fella! Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Tyler Bate getting up to his feet. It looks like World Collide is going for 3 hours. I don't think so. I think we might touch... I mean, we've done 2 hours. So I think we might be around for another 20 minutes. Maybe with the celebration we get to the half-hour mark. But I don't think we're here for another hour. Tyler Bate looking to go against the ropes. Let's go, Tyler Bate, says Hayden. Over the top goes Tyler. He comes crashing down onto Bron. Tyler over the top. Bron goes down. NXT, NXT, NXT. Tyler in a bit of pain here. So, suicide dive. Goes over the top. Collides into Bron. He's grabbing Bron right now, looking to get him back into the ring. So, Tyler getting back into the ring. Oh. Standing shooting star seemed like a really stupid move to go for there, Tyler. Gets caught, planted by Bron. Bron Breakker grabbing Tyler and planting him down. Back elbow there by Tyler. Bron smiling, going over to Tyler, driving Tyler. They both go through the ropes, spill to the outside. Bron on the outside of the ring. Tyler down on the ground. I think half of All Out's card is unnecessary. The show could go for 8 to 9 hours, says Mr. Meme. What happened to Dragunov? Injured. He's injured at the moment. Real. Roic said, who do you think's the Joker? I really don't know. To be honest, Jokers we've had recently have been a bit underwhelming. So we've had people like Matt Sydal in the past, people like Leo Rush. It could just be someone that's coming in for... I mean, it could have been someone like Morrissey. Had Morrissey have not, debuted on Wednesday, it could have been someone like Morrissey. If it turns out to be like MJF, that'll be quite big. I mean, that'll be, one of the biggest people it could be. I don't think Bray's going to be on this show. To be honest, I haven't really heard anyone saying that Bray or they expect Bray. I think people, because Triple H is back in charge, expect Bray to go to WWE now. Shoulder up by Bron. So, yeah, I've not heard too many people saying Bray. I think there's a good chance we do see MJF. But I don't know that MJF will be the Joker. I think the Joker could be... It's hard to put a name on it. Could be just someone that they bring in for one shot, really. This is awesome, chant. Tyler has got Bron on his shoulders. Bron with elbows to the side of the head. He's got Tyler up in the air. Tyler upside down, but nice. Inside cradle. Nice straight to the midsection there by Tyler. Tyler going against the ropes. Oh, nice. Bron was trying for the Frankensteiner. But it was turned into a power bomb. That was a nice spot. That was a nice spot. Yeah, it looked like he was going for the Frankensteiner, but didn't get it. It gets, Tyler turns it into a power bomb. The Joker is Dominic. We've got Bron over in the corner. Daze, did you enjoy Clash? I enjoyed it because of Drew's old theme, Broken Dreams. I finished on a 6.5. So I thought that it was, I'll say solid. I think the crowd played the biggest part. I think there was a couple of really good matches. I think some of the matches were underwhelming. But the singing at the end was weird. My biggest takeaway from it is that it's, 30 years we waited. And I think for me, it fell short of expectation. So that's my impression of Clash. But 6.5, not a disaster at all. Not when you've got a match like Gunther Sheamus and a main event as good as what we got. 1, 2, by Bron. Bron picking up Tyler. Driving Tyler down. Bron looking for the pin. Oh, shoulder up. How long we got? Man, it's hard to know how close to the end we are. We've gone over 2 hours. Bron launching himself off the top. Delivers a bulldog, but only gets a 2 count. What do you think about Dominic's future? I think he joins Judgment Day. 6.5 is fair. It could have been monumental. The crowd were great, says Bill. Yeah. I think there was just like nothing in the way of returns. There was no Charlotte. There was no Sasha. There was no Braun. There was no Bray. There was very little shocks. I mean, we did get the Dominic turn, but for me, if you compare this to SummerSlam, where, I mean, you know, you get Brock picking up the ring with a tractor. Do you know what I mean? And like some incredible matches at SummerSlam, incredible returns like Bayley, shocks like Io and Dakota. I just, like that show, I thought was very, very good. And this, because of it being a stadium for me, was always going to be comparable to a SummerSlam. I never compared this or never thought of this as like a B show, but I think the truth is this was a B show pay-per-view. This was an Extreme Rules. It was a TLC. It was one of those in a stadium. That's what they did. They gave us a TLC. They gave us an Extreme Rules. They gave us a Backlash in a stadium, which is not, I think that is below what I was expecting. I was expecting SummerSlam. So that's why like it comes in at a 6.5 for me. But I've seen people that have said it's pay-per-view of the year, it's absolutely stunning, all this kind of stuff. So I know that it's a very varied opinions on it. Tyler Bate trying to get up to his feet. He's got Bron Breakker on his shoulders. Airplane spin by Tyler Bate. Textbook Bate. Plants Bron down. 1, 2. Has the airplane spin ever put anyone away? Off the ropes. Good work by Bate. Big clothesline. 1, 2. Kick out again by Bron. We've not seen Bop Bang yet. There's a few more Tyler Bate tricks that we still need to see here. We've nearly 500 votes. We're at 471. Who wins? As soon as we get to 500, we'll delete the poll. This is NXT Championship Unification. This is awesome. This is awesome, chance. Double underhooks by Tyler. Nice reversal by Bron. Tyler gets a shoulder up. 1, 2. Tyler again gets his shoulder up. He's going to have to bridge here, and he does bridge. He gets Bron up, looking for the Tyler driver. Gets it. Gets it. 1, 2. Kick out by Bron. Kick out by Bron. Tyler driver connects. Fate Ross Vape said, first Bron match. His dad was my favourite. He's good. Bron's good. Crowd really enjoying this. Both of these guys really laying it in. Tyler going over to the corner. Tyler trying to pick himself up in the corner. Going up top. Big move here by Tyler. Bron has caught him, though. Bron has caught him. He's got him up. Gorilla press. Oh, drives him down. 1, 2. Foot on the rope. Foot on the rope. Foot on the rope by Tyler. Loving that by Bron. Bron looking so dejected as he sees Tyler Bate's foot on the rope. Big strong boy. Big strong boy. Big strong boy. Big strong boy chants. The straps are coming down. Ah! Could this be the beginning of the end? Bron is in the corner. There's boos for Bron. Crowd are with Tyler Bate here. Tyler is over in the corner. Bron charges over. Kick by Tyler Bate. Bop and bang. Bop and bang. He's going for the Tyler driver. Reversed. Bate lands on his feet, though. Gets caught by Bron. Bron trying to pick up Tyler Bate. Tyler rolls him through. 1, 2. Kick out by Bron. Bate going against the ropes. Spear. Oh, spear by Bron. And Bron wins. Bron wins. Bron with a monster spear. Really good match. Bron wins. Bron wins. Let's go. Well, we don't need the poll anymore, do we? Definitely we don't need the poll. But 63% of you said that Bron was going to win. Jake Paul, Hulk Hogan, confirmed, says Edward. I really wanted Tyler to win, said Vision DJ. We riot now. The return of Braun is tomorrow. Are you excited? Massively. I mean, if he's booked well, it could be good. But I can't say I am excited. I can't say that's a return that I'm going to like massively pop for. And it's been spoiled as well, so. Tyler's grabbing both belts. He said he wants to be the one to give them to Bron. So Tyler has got both belts. Tyler, looking at Bron, shakes his head, acknowledges Bron Breakker, puts both belts on him. Some nice words shared between the two. Bron, there's a great deal of respect there between those two. So Bron with both belts. I wish you were scrolling the winners on screen. It's useful, says John. Yeah, I only tend to do that when we're doing a post-show review, but we can't do one today because I need to go to get ready for AEW. Are we going straight into AEW? Are you taking a break? No, we'll pretty much go straight in, but I definitely need to set some stuff up. So we'll end this in a second, then we'll be back looking at about half past. Chug Chug said, where's the sing-along? Bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. A good old boys drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Yeah! Like a virgin. You're absolutely right. Shows just don't feel the same without a song at the end. Don't feel the same. Moxley against Punk starts in 8 hours. Yeah, we've got time. We're definitely not struggling for time. Right, well, I am going to go, actually, to get set up, and then we'll be back. I'm going to aim to be back in around about 15 minutes' time, and then we'll go straight the way through with AEW. So a massive thank you, a big shout out to everyone that joined us. We're not going to get a chance to do our post-show review, but just quickly looking at the scores that I gave the matches. First match was decent. I mean, it was fast-paced. I do think the no-selling for me is a little bit of a problem. It is just like visually really impressive at times, but it's just next spot. Now we're doing this. Now we're doing that. Now we're doing that. And I don't know. I criticize AEW for those kind of things. So fair is fair. I have to criticize NXT, but still a good opener. I gave it 3.75, so I certainly wasn't that down on it. Then I thought the tag match, I mean, the Creeds just blew my mind in that tag match. So for me, I gave that 4, which might be really high. It might be a bit too high, I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. And certainly that vertical suplex where he goes down on his knees and then comes back up to his feet. Such an amazing spot. Creed brothers were brilliant. I like Pretty Deadly winning as well. So, yeah, a real good showcase, actually, for where the NXT tag division is at the moment. I was quite impressed. Then we had Mandy against Davenport, Meiko. I don't know why. I just couldn't get into this one as much. And I love Meiko Satomura. But I think there was a lot of strikes, a lot of just like forearm strikes. And I don't know, it wasn't a match that grabbed me, spoke to me. Maybe it's because it was coming after the first match that had every flipping move done in under the sun. Then we got some really impressive tag team work. So maybe the women's match just really struggled to kind of shine next to those. So for me, I was at about a 3 for that one. Then we got the women's tag match, which I was about a 3 again, to be honest, but I kind of felt like that had a nice energy to it. I think there were some really good moments in that match. So, yeah, maybe 3.25, around that ballpark. And then our main event for me, easily match of the night. I would give that 4.25. I would put it just above the tag match. So I would say tag match was really good. But maybe the early stages are a little bit, as teams are getting eliminated, whatever. I think the end of it, I think, to be honest, once we get down to Pretty Deadly and Creeds, it's fantastic. So I think I would much rather have just had Pretty Deadly against the Creeds. But, yeah, main event, loved it. 4.25, loads of great reversals, loads of great wrestling. Overall, really, really solid show. I think what I might look to do is once we've done AEW, I might do a review of NXT. But I probably won't stream that. I'll just record it and put it up as a little separate video because it'll be quite late by that point. But to be honest, I do like to get them out as podcasts. And I think we've been doing them for NXT. So I can see us doing a little bit of a review for that. So that'll go on the channel later. But we're going to go now because we need to go to get ready for NXT, for AEW. But that was NXT. So I hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate the support as always. And I'll see you in a minute for AEW All Out. Bye for now.